Hey guys, how's it going? This is Yusei the Wheeler here, and we are finally back into the story of Fate Grand Order Lostbelt 6, the final part. So, I heard that the third part 3 is the shortest one of all, and while there's still a lot of dialogue chapters though, so in the last part, from what I remembered, we actually launched an attack against the Camelot. And while it seems like we've been defeated, though, Morgan was severely weakened and deceived by Spriggan, and also got attacked by the dog dude, Woodwoes. And then Woodwoes died, and then all of a sudden Morgan got mutilated, and then also Oberon sacrificed himself for us. Yeah, things got really out of hand. I mean, we nearly died against Morgan, so yeah. So now that Morgan's been dethroned, what's next? Who's gonna take the throne of Faerie Britain? And yeah, and apologies for not streaming it right away after I did my rolls for Oberon, which should now be on the channel by the time of this recording. And yeah, I'm actually getting MP2, and he came to me pretty easily, which is I must apologize to the people who had trouble getting her though, but congratulate the people who did get him though. Yeah. Alright, so let's dive right in. Yeah, I'm trying to record from a distance because if I'm too close to my mic right now, then it starts to kind of distort my voice a bit, so I'm gonna try to be, but I'll try also not to try to be too loud, so I can come out as clear as I can possibly get, at least. Hopefully. Okay, so we're doing interlude, so we're back at the storm border.
Today is the 45th day of our covert operation of Britain's coast. I've called you all here for one reason and one reason alone. The time has come to decide whether to leave this lost belt, or lost world, according to our technical advisor's reports, and return to standard space. Or to muster everything we've got and send additional forces, myself and Meunier, to aid the field team's efforts. But fortunately, we just received a new report from Typhon with excellent news. Captain, if you would.
Got it. Restoring power to the command room. Whoa, the lights are back on? Then does that mean?
That's right, my boy. Mission complete. Morgan is officially out of the picture. Yusaku, Da Vinci, and Kyrielite really came through. What's more, the fairies were so impressed with our accomplishments that they agreed to give us one of the Camelot's Rongominiads.
Woohoo! I can't believe we're gonna get the real thing instead of just a spell. Now the border's finally gonna have a main cannon. Now the border's finally gonna have a main cannon. We can't wait to be gunners. Alright, but only 4 of you. You can draw lots later to decide who it'll be.
A Rongominiad main cannon, eh? And as the director, it will be my duty to pull the final trigger.
Okay, Gordolph, let's not get ahead of ourselves. That said, I can't stop grinning either. I've always dreamed of having a huge cannon on the deck.
Yes, good point. At first, I'd like to build it onto the bow, but on further consideration, that seems extremely unsafe. Much better to add it to the deck, since we can jettison it at the moment's notice. But never mind that now. According to the report, it will take them 7 days to reach the shore from Camelot. We'll wait here until then. After they arrive, we can leave. That's why I had Captain turn the lights on in the command room. Now that we no longer have to conserve as much power as possible in case of emergency, we can get by with only moderate energy conservation. I know it's been a trying 45 days for all of you, so now it's your chance to recuperate while we prepare to install our Rongominiad.
I don't know, I still think you should conserve power. Just in case, you know, it's my 2 cents. They're all cheering.
Is something the matter, Administrative Advisor? Most people consider this cause for celebration, you know. While we're at it, I feel I should let you know something you don't seem to be aware of. That face you're making right now. You may as well be shouting. It feels like this case has only just begun.
Thank you for the warning, Gordolf. Watson used to tell me Watson used to tell me much the same thing. However, I'm afraid you're not quite correct. This is no mere feeling. I assure you, this case has only just begun.
Really? Even though we defeated the Lostbelt's king?
We still have yet to answer so much as one truly essential question, Director. How did this Lostbelt come into being? Why was Camelot built? What purpose were the bells of pilgrimage originally meant to serve? What is the Fairy of Paradise's mission? And what happened to the great calamities? The Red Calamity and Black Calamity that ended Britain during the first iteration of the Fae era, before Morgan's involvement. For that matter, who was it originally that attempted Britain's destruction? If the unnatural lines of malice I've glimpsed in Da Vinci's reports are any indication, the true culprit, no, the truth itself still lies elsewhere. Rest assured, I'm all in favor of restoring power and recuperating, but not for the purpose of returning home. No, now we must remain all the more vigilant and prepare for the worst-case scenario. From here on, this will be a battle to save the world, and Chaldea's aid will be essential. Spooky. There's Barghest and Percival. We're all just cheering. Hey, there's... Yeah, whatchamacallit, Muramasa survived. It feels like we got the back... No, sorry. It feels like we got back to Salisbury in no time.
I know, but between the talks we had in Camelot about our next steps and the wagon ride here, it's already been 3 days. So far, everything's been going smoothly. Wherever we've gone, fairies have come out to cheer for us. Barghest is staying behind in Camelot to handle things with the upper-class fairies as Cnoc and Riabb's proxy. Percival is staying behind as well, so he can secure the secret lamps affixed to the castle's entrance for us. That'll take 1 more day to remove, then another 3 days to bring it back to the stone border stationed off the coast. Although, I'm a little worried about him. He said he's doing fine, but... yeah, he seemed to be kind of dragging. Even when we insisted he get some rest, he said it was more important that he pay us back for what we'd done. I mean, it's true we don't have a lot of time left to spare, so I can't deny that'll help us out, but still. Oh, I know, after he brings us the secret lance, we should give him a turn in one of the borders recovery pods. If a full course cutting-edge medical technology doesn't perk him up, nothing will. Besides, he could probably use it anyway, since he sounds like he's been working non-stop since he started the Round Table Army.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Think you can give Habitat a spin in one of those recovery pod things, too? She insists she's just sleepy, but I can tell she's been getting more depressed by the day since Morgan was defeated. All she does is sleep and write in her diary day in and day out. Yeah, I'm guessing, yeah, she's been more depressed because Morgan's gone. Morgan was her old friend. Hell, even now she won't budge from her bed upstairs. I can only guess she's beyond exhausted. Altria, I gotta ask, are you sure about this? I get following Morgan's example by having the coronation at Salisbury's cathedral. Then again, you said you were gonna let Cnoc and Riabh take the throne and go back to Tintagel. I forgot how I pronounced that. Tintagel or Tintagel? I think I call it Tintagel, yeah. And now it's all but a done deal that she's gonna be the next queen. How can you just give up your claim to the throne after everything I did to help you get there? Sure, it's great that the clans came to an agreement so quick since the Child of Prophecy suggested it. But still.
I know, but this is what's best for... But this is what's best for Britain's future. The only reason I'm still here is because Oberon gave his life to save mine. If it wasn't for him, my journey would have ended there. In the end, I never came close to reaching Morgan's level. Maybe I'd feel differently if I'd been the one to defeat her. But it was the rebel army that did that. Percival led the Round Table army, and it was Dr. Riabh who assembled the army of northern fairies. Me? I just went straight for the glory, and you saw how that went. But honestly, I don't know the first thing about politics. So letting Dr. Riabh be the next queen and retiring to an easy life in my hometown seems like a no-brainer. I can almost hear everyone's cheers of, "Great job, Child of Prophecy," right now.
Well, gosh, you're in a good mood, aren't you, Child of Prophecy? And why wouldn't you be? You really did it. All thanks to Da Vinci. Here you go, 6 deluxe apple waters.
Thanks, Mike. You know, I just realized there aren't any other customers here. There's a reason for that.
Oh, that? I reserved the whole place for you guys after Red Rabbit, yeah, told me you were coming. If the other fairies found out the Child of Prophecy was coming here, this place would be packed to the rafters. Especially since there are fairies here from all across Britain to see the next queen's coronation. And I've got a feeling you don't much care for crowds, right, Altria? So I thought you'd feel more comfortable if it was just you guys here.
Well, you're not wrong. Thanks, Mike. Okay, everyone, let's toast to our victory. All together now.
Cheers!
A victory toast might be the best thing ever. Congratulations on a job well done, everyone. Thanks, Altria. However it went down, now that Morgan's gone, we don't have to worry about proper human history being invaded. And this Britain should remain safe and stable, at least until the bleached earth phenomenon situation is resolved. I don't know what'll happen after that. Maybe it'll stack on top of proper human history, or maybe it'll be expelled from the planet. But if nothing else, we can be sure the fairies won't disappear. We're also thinking of using the storm border to help some of them migrate. This does mean we'll be going our separate ways, but I know things will be fine with you and Dr. Riabh here. And once Caldea's handled its own problem, our leaders will come back to pay their respects.
Huh? You mean you're leaving Da Vinci?
Yeah, after the coronation. Besides, I've got a ton of work waiting for me back at the border. But I have nothing planned for the day. If there's anything you want to ask me about, now's your chance. Oh, I know. I'll make a roadmap for the next few years of your pub's growth. All you have to do is follow it, and this place will become the best hotel this side of Camelot. You've got the genius guarantee on that.
Oh wow, really? That sounds amazing. I guess I'm gonna have lots of new goals then. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
So, Mash, what did you and Barghest talk about earlier?
Oh, right. We had a short chat just before we left Camelot.
Oh?
I've been entrusted with handling the aftermath here in Camelot. Percival and Dr. Riabh's subordinates will be the ones making the decisions. But I should be more persuasive with the ambassadors and officials who have yet to get on board with the new administration. As for Spriggan and Aurora, they've both agreed to support the Child of Prophecy's choice for the new queen. I'm concerned that we still haven't heard from Murian, but I doubt that'll be a major issue. Understood. This may sound strange coming from me, but I'm glad you're here helping us. There's no need to thank me. This is all I can do to be useful. Though I must ask, why do you look at me like that? I'm a criminal and a traitor to the crown. I don't deserve to call myself a knight. That's not true, Barghest. You're an exemplary knight. Your loyalty to Morgan never wavered, even for a moment. But you stood up to fight her in the name of protecting Britain. That must have been a very difficult choice. You're not the first knight I've known who made a choice like that. Which is why I'm so glad to see the rebel army welcome you with open arms. You wield your sword for others' sake, not your own. You truly believe it's the duty of the strong to protect the weak. So please, Lady Barghest, don't be so hard on yourself. You were just as noble a knight as Bogart said you were. I see. So you were there with Bogart when he died. Tell me, what did you think of him? Was he a good lord? He was a wonderful lord. He did everything he could to help Sheffield and Norwich up to his dying breath. I may be a member of Chaldea, but here in the land of the Fae, I'd like to think of myself as a knight of Sheffield as well. That's how much the people I met there meant to me. I see. I expect no less from the old hardhead. He's always been surprisingly considerate. He was also a huge womanizer. That's one thing Woodrow's never had over him. Really? I had no idea Bogart was so popular. Oh yes, his plain-spoken nature and a way of cutting straight to the fairies' hearts. Oh wait, sorry. His plain-spoken nature had a way of cutting straight to the fairies' hearts, even if it didn't mean to. How else would he have been married 61 times? Good point. In retrospect, that does explain a number of things. The same was true for you, Galahad. Alright, you said your name was Mash, didn't you? I'll be undergoing a court-martial once Camelot's affairs are in order. But after hearing your words, even a century in prison will pass easily. Thank you, young knight of proper human history, honorable knight of the true Round Table. Were it possible, I would have loved to meet the other knights of the Round Table. Really? Like who? Good question. Maybe Sir Gawain? No, never mind. I know my emotions will get the better of me. But I'd also love to meet Sir Calamities, Sir Tristan, and Sir Kay, who is said to be the tallest of the knights. Well, as a matter of fact, you've already met one of them. Senpai told me all about it. Remember that knight who held you back at the ranch? That was Sir Tristan. What? Really? Tristan, the child of sadness? That Tristan? That's right. I suppose he may not have made a strong impression. Oh no, he did. I would never forget the sheer mastery of the bow he demonstrated. It's just that... Oh, what have I done? How could I ever hope to make amends? You beat him in a fair and honorable duel, right? I'm sure there won't be any hard feelings on Tristan's part. Although I am curious, why are you so attached to the Knights of the Round Table? It seems like there's more to it than just the name Morgan gifted you with. Alright, you are a fellow woman and knight, so I suppose I don't mind sharing with you. Well, it goes without saying that they're all very attractive.
Okay, she's got a crush on them.
I especially looked up to them because of their stories. Despite all the personal problems they faced in the end, they always chose to stick together and protect their kingdom. They were the very model for a strong and honorable knight fighting in defense of the weak. I don't know what I would have done without their example to guide me. They made me want the same thing for Faerie Britain. Even though ultimately it was you and your companions who accomplished what I could not. I'd like you to give the foreign mage a message for me. Please tell him thank you for supporting our world. No, for supporting the Child of Prophecy. As knights go, I may be a disgrace, but I'll never forget the debt I owe him. If he ever should be in need of my horn, all you need to do is say the word.
Oh, okay. She really said that, huh?
Yes, it's unfortunate that we first met her as an enemy. I hope from now on we can help each other instead.
Don't worry. Barghest may be readying herself for jail, but there's no way Dr. Riabh's gonna let her see the inside of a cell. There ain't anyone else who knows the fairies of Camelot as well as she does. If Dr. Riabh's gonna rule effectively, she's gonna need a right hand she can trust.
You're heading out, Grimmer?
Just a little errand I need to take care of. I'm gonna see how Dr. Riabh's doing. The Northern Fairies have never been to Salisbury or the Great Cathedral before, right? So I figure they can use all the help they can get, seeing how the coronation is tomorrow.
Oh, right. I forgot you have all the First Grimmer's knowledge. Well, thanks for helping that jerk out. This will be her greatest opportunity to shine yet.
She still calls her a jerk, with a smile on her face.
There's no more here or here.
What the fuck? Did you just go insane? Oh, yeah, the last time we saw Miriam, though, she was crushing a bunch of the Earth Clan fairies, though.
That's strange. I could have already got them all, right? Hello? Is anyone still there? Is anyone still alive? Oh, beep! You out if you are, okay? Just say something, please. Lady Marian?
Hey, Koyan Sky is finally on my side, Keck.
I don't think there's anyone left in that box. Perhaps it's time you moved on. Who's there? Oh, Koyanskaya, it's you. When did you get here? Did you just get back? Just give me a minute to wash my hands, okay? They feel so gross for some reason. Weird, don't you think? Take that, and that, and that! You can't hide from me. Not in the woods. Not anywhere. Die! 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 I want to see you running in panic, wailing for someone to save you before I grind you to paste. Huh. Are you freaking kidding me? How is this supposed to be fun? It's gross. It's disgusting. How the hell can you fairies enjoy this? Answer me, you disgusting insects. You started this, right? Why did you do this? Why are you begging for help now? If you know how awful it feels, then why did you spare the Wing Clan when we begged you to? Who's there? Pardon my intrusion, Lady Marian. Did I startle you?
Wait. What's going on here? Did she just did this?
Oh, Koyanskaya, when did you get here? I haven't seen you around lately. Have you been in town long? Oh, but never mind that. Listen, I came up with the very best idea for revenge. I'm going to use my game board to make an inescapable bug trap. It'll take me hundreds of years to create an open world big enough to finish off the whole Fan Clan. But that's okay, I can wait. I'm the Butterbur Princess, and the most patient of all the Wing Clan fairies. I swear I'll complete it no matter how difficult it may be. After all, just imagine how good it'll feel to take my revenge when it finally happens.
You practically killed them.
It's going to be the greatest moment of my life, and I'm going to devote everything I have to making it happen. It's going to be great. What could go wrong? Oh, Lady Marian. Her poor mind. It just can't accept the dull reality. So how are things in Camelot? Is Queen Morgan really gone? Yes, she is. Morgan was put to death, and the rebel army now controls the city. There's to be a coronation to mark the reign of the new queen tomorrow. Once that happens, it's only a matter of time until the new law of the land reaches Gloucester as well. And if the truth about what happened to the Fan Clan ever comes to light, I'm afraid it could put you in a precarious position, Lady Marian. Huh? Something happened to the Fan Clan? Oh, well, never mind that. Right now we need to focus on Camelot. I never thought Altria would relinquish her claim to the throne so easily. I was hoping she and Riabh would end up taking each other down, but oh well. Still, it's a good thing there's going to be a new queen soon. There's no time to waste before the great Calamities shows up, after all. Riabh's a direct descendant of Mab, so she should understand how important that throne is. So I'll contact her soon and arrange an alliance between Camelot and Gloucester. Once the threat of the Great Calamity has passed, then I'll find a way to overthrow her. Right now, our priority is ensuring Britain's survival. I can wait to invite our mutual enemy, proper human history, Chaldea, to my garden until then. Oh my, you're going to war with Chaldea, Lady Marian? And here I thought you didn't have any interest in them. I didn't at first. But it's obvious now that proper human history is a threat to this land. And they're your enemies as well, right? So that makes them mine too. But first, Riabh. I'm going to start by writing her a letter asking her to kick the Round Table army out of Camelot as soon as she's officially the new queen. There's no way I'm letting Chaldea have a sacred lance. They all belong to Faerie Britain. Anyway, once I'm done writing it, would you deliver the letter for me? I used to have Oberon handle this sort of thing, but I haven't been able to reach him lately. Very well then, I'll be glad to attend the coronation on your behalf. But if I may, Lady Morgan, what are you going to do afterwards? You really need to get out of this room before it starts to affect your health. I have a lot of reading left to do.
Oh, sorry.
There's so much Morgan suppressed during her reign. How did she stop the Great Calamity before? And for that matter, what is the Great Calamity? I just know the answer to those and other questions must be the documents that I took from Camelot. And if that information is written down somewhere, I'm positive I can decipher it. I'm going to find out the truth as sure as I'm Butterbur Princess.
I'm the Butterbur Princess. Butterbur Princess? What the heck? Kinda sounds like buttermilk. I don't know why. An interlude? Ooh, quartz. Nothing over here. There you have it. She said to give you her regards and that she's looking forward to your coronation, you jerk.
Is that so?
Oh, sorry.
Well, forgive me for not jumping for joy at being congratulated by a gutless coward who turned and ran away at the last second.
You're still mad about that. It's not like Altria ran from her competition with you. If anything else, it's the opposite. She stepped back of her own accord so you wouldn't get caught up in her mission as the Fairy of Paradise.
I know that. Why do you think I'm so pissed off? After all that, she's just going to disappear and let me have all the glory? She thinks she can save the bloody world when no one's looking and then quit while she's ahead? Not on my watch, she won't. That's no different from the kind of crap Morgan pulled. Just you wait. As soon as I'm on the throne, I'm going to begin a child of prophecy hunt that'll put Morgan to shame. I'm going to find her wherever she goes, even if I have to invade this paradise place she's from.
Now who's acting like Morgan? Alright, but be warned, that ain't an easy path to be taking. Interfering with Paradise's duty means fighting proper human history. It'll be a pity to bring a whole new kind of war to Britain right after finally bringing peace to it.
Fine with me. More than fine. More than fine, even. I never had any intention of playing nice with proper human history. I'm not as extreme as Morgan, but it's still basically a foreign land, right? Knowing there's more land out there waiting to be conquered is the best news I've heard in my life. My purpose is to rule. Therefore, the more there is to rule, the happier I am. I can feel my mental energy surging just thinking about it.
Looks like the idea of fighting proper human history really does entice you. If you're so certain, I won't try to stop you. Either way, it's gonna take time to get Faerie Britain back on its feet, and Chaldea will probably finish her mission by then. You really okay with Yusaku leaving?
Oh sure, it'll be sad to part ways for a while, but if anything, I think this is destiny. Once I'm ready to conquer proper human history, I'll be a way better queen than Morgan ever was. So once he sees what an amazing fairy I am, he won't be able to resist going out with me.
What? Does she have a crush on me? Looks like you're dead set on getting everything you want. Not that I expected otherwise from you. Plus, you're already obsessed with Camelot's throne. Don't damage it. Don't damage it no matter what, eh? When you get right down to it, a throne is just a fancy chair, but you were dead set on that particular one. Same with Morgan. She refused to leave it no matter what. Why is that? You know something about it?
Okay, I guess I can tell you. Morgan's throne is the cornerstone of all Britain. It's what keeps fairies. It's what keeps the fairy cycle alive. It's the gear that keeps the life of every fairy who died at the end of the Fae era in motion. Its false roundtable ace created after she completed her pilgrimage and chose to defy her duty. It's the throne of a master. Whoever bonds with that throne becomes the master of Britain's fairies. Morgan used it in a desperate attempt to summon the fairies of Faerie Britain and keep them alive.
Oh, that is interesting. So desune. Let me just pour one out for the homies.
My predecessor, Queen Riabh, learned about this in the era of the High Queen 400 during her last one-on-one battle with Morgan.
Ooh, sorry. Ooh. I was gonna burp. Give me a sec. Oh, God. I just feel it coming up. Oh, there we go.
The only fairies who weren't wiped out during the Fate era's Great Calamity were Riabh, the clan leaders, and a handful of upper-class fairies. Riabh had no reason to submit to Morgan's rule because she wasn't one of the fairies Morgan brought back to life. But she also couldn't keep fighting her once she found out how far Morgan had gone to keep Britain alive. So Riabh and Morgan made a secret arrangement. They agreed that if Morgan should ever decline and fall, the King clan would be the one to succeed her.
Gotcha. In other words, do what you want and I'll clean up the mess.
That's right. They were friends in their own way. After that, Riabh retired to Edinburgh. Her part of the deal was to produce a new queen who could take over for Morgan by the time she declined. That's the duty I inherited from my predecessor. I'm her daughter, the next generation born for the sole purpose of becoming queen. Whatever I do with my life will have to wait until I've taken care of that. I just wish it hadn't come about in such a half-assed fashion. But fine, whatever. As soon as the coronation's over, I'm going to rush right to the throne and take over for Morgan. Well, not that there was not that there was ever any other option. Now that Morgan's gone, I'm the only one with a spirit origin capable of reforming contracts with every fairy in Britain. Altria simply doesn't have quite what it takes. That's just how it is.
For sure. It's all like Angel prophesized. The child of prophecy will pave the way, and then the true king will appear. So the child of prophecy and the true king were always two separate fairies. That prophecy is about both of you. Should I fill my cup? If you already know that much, I don't have anything else to tell you. Later, Cnoc Riabh. We'll have to fight each other someday since you're from this Lostbelt and I'm from proper human history. But we can forget about that, at least for the next few days. Tomorrow's your big day. As Grimmer the Sage, I'll be there to bless you as best I can. Oh, well, we really have to fight her. But she was kind of cool, though. The apocalypse turned everything to ocean. In the beginning, there was only ocean. Shooting stars streaked by. Civilizations faded. The earth was returned to resources. And everything became ocean. Wait a sec. Checking out if someone was messaging me. Oh, I thought someone was messaging me. Some mishap on this planet caused everything to vanish. This is the Isle's dying voice, the sound of suffering from one yet to be put out of its misery.
Salisbury, Salisbury, we're off to grand old Salisbury. It's the start of a new era. A new queen shall reign. Will it be the child of prophecy? The child of the queen? We don't know, but as long as she does a good job as queen, it's all the same to us. Come on, let's hurry to the coronation. Goodbye, merciless Morgan. Hold up. Everyone, look over there. There's some Moors on that hill looking at us.
A Moors?
Just one? That's no big deal. All we have to do is keep our distance. Britain's about to be reborn. I wonder what the new queen will do with it.
There's more of them. Holy crap, what the fuck? Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do about Cernunnos in there. Soon the time will be upon us. The number of Moors has exceeded the number of fairies. Having had a sacrifice which pleases him, the god has begun to stir. The way I see it, the whole point of reality is that there are no takebacks. We do things knowing that'll make they'll make matters worse. By the time we realize what we've done, it's too late. Then we seal away any who try to reveal our actions for the misdeeds they were. Whose fault is it? No one's, of course. And that is why it's not possible to make things better. That face. What the hell is that? You've heard of going out with a bang. I think that's a wonderful idea. If you're going to go out anyway, you might as well make the biggest bang you can. I don't like that face. I don't like that face at all. Oh, okay. The end. Coronation. Okay, let's alrighty, let's do this.
Good morning, everyone. It's coronation day. Now, come on, wake up. We need to get to the cathedral before it gets too crowded.
I don't think we need to worry about that. We've already got special seats put aside for us. Plus, the coronation should only take an hour. Have you all thought about what you'll do afterwards?
Senpai Da Vinci and I are going to wait for Percival. That way we can help him transport the sacred lands. I'm going to go back to the Welsh woods to tell him my journey was a success. After that, I think I'd like to help the recovery effort in Londinium until things settle down there.
Good idea. Once I see things are in order there, that's when I'll know my job's done. The bit about making sure Morgan's defeated is done at this point. So once your journeys come to a complete end, I'll be able to put Britain behind me with a clean conscience.
Huh? You mean you have a home of your own, Muramasa?
Of course I do. I ain't a vagrant, you know. I'm actually something of a royal assistant, believe it or not. Plus, I still got a weird colleague waiting for me to get back. I can't up and quit for no good reason.
Too bad. I'd love to recruit you to our side, but I know you're not the kind to break your existing commitments. So realistically, just agreeing to a truce while we're all still in Britain is more than enough. By the way, what about Hapatron? Is she still holed up in her room?
Yep. She said she's too tired to do anything but sleep, and to go enjoy the coronation without her.
Maybe we should check on her again, just to make sure. Oh.
That's alright, I'll do it. You guys go on ahead, okay?
You have chosen to be a dream. You have chosen a path that will prevent you from existing in my Britain. The only time you'll have is the period between when she first arrives and when she's sent back in time with my water mirror. Remember this, Totorot. Your dream will end when the morning lark sings.
Yeah, I think she still remembers Morgan. Or Ask. How are you feeling, Happy Cat?
Huh? You went to the trouble of checking on me? Wow, you're a really good person, aren't you, Yusaku? But don't worry about me. Go on, get going. Everyone's gotta be waiting for you outside. I'm just tired, okay? I'll be fine once I'm properly woken up.
But, are you really okay with this?
Okay with what? You got some reason to be worried about me? What? You think I've got a secret? You think I'm actually one of the most important fairies in the Fae world or something?
Oh, well, I actually don't know anything about your past.
Right? Good. If even a single person knew who I was, it would put me in a real pickle. So it's fine not to remember me. I just have one or two things left to do, after all. But thanks for asking, yeah? It's still too soon to say goodbye, but I appreciate your checking in. Make sure you and Mash look out for each other. Make sure you and Mash look out for each other, Yusaku. You turned out to be a pretty great groom in your own right.
Damn, she's already shipping us. I can't believe Da Vinci is going home. Although, where is her home anyway? What's the outside world? What is there outside Britain? Is her condition going to improve if she goes there? If it does, that's a good thing, right? Ah, this is the worst. What am I gonna do? Why does she have to leave just when every day was starting to get fun? You can't do this to me. You can't take Da Vinci away from me now. Without her here, I'll just go back to being my boring old self. What can I do? What can I do to make Da Vinci stay? I don't like where this is going, and I don't like the sound of that knife sharpening. Yeah. More quartz. Huh? We're doing a battle here. This does not bode well, if there's a battle here. Oh man, well, let's see what it is. Yaoi is noise. You think human replication is effed up? I actually do not have an opinion, though, but honestly, yeah, I don't have an opinion, and I'd rather not get into any side, though, so sorry if that's not what you're looking for.
We're here! Gosh, I've never seen so many upper-class fairies all in one place before.
That's kind of fucked up, but hey, we got unlimited human laborers now. Okay.
Look! Up on the second floor! There's Aurora and Spriggan in the VIP seats, and a whole bunch of other famous fairies, too.
The humans in LB6. Oh, okay, you're actually talking about the LB6 one. I mean, it's something, all right. Yeah, it's something. Cause, yeah, well, I'm not gonna try to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read it yet, though.
But hey, we're kind of big deals too. I might have relinquished my claim to the throne, but I was still wanting to keep players in the assault on Camelot. Our seats must be at the very front of the... Huh? They're all full. Let me see. It looks like our seats are on the first floor, all the way in the back. These are like the seats you give to a friend of a friend if there are any left over, right?
I'm sure she gave us. I'm sorry. I'm sure she gave us these seats so we wouldn't draw too much attention. Like she's all fidgety. Oh, good. You're all sitting here too. Percival, I thought you were in Camelot. Yes, well, that was my original intention, but Lady Barghest insisted otherwise.
Let me guess. She said that it would be ridiculous for the commander of the Round Table Army not to attend, and that she could easily handle things while you were away?
Got it in one. Verbatim even. She did also say to give you her regards, though.
She really is a thoughtful guardian knight, isn't she? I'm fully in favor of you being here, too. Oh, how's removing the secret lance coming along? If you need help with it, I can always come back with you to Camelot once this is over.
No need to worry. It's coming along great. It should be done by noon today, and the lance should arrive in Salisbury by tomorrow night.
Awesome. I don't know if a sacred lance made by Morgan is something we can actually use ourselves. But even if we can't, it'll be an invaluable divine construct just as a reference. Thanks again, Percival. Quiet, everyone. Cnoc and Riabh's here.
Damn, alright. Full body shot? Whoa, she looks beautiful.
I know. I could hardly tear my eyes away from her.
Yeah, Mash looks happy.
Don't you think she looks beautiful, Altria? Yeah, I do. Damn it, Cnoc and Riabh.
She's jealous now.
I hate to admit it, but you're the best.
Good day, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Temporary though my position may be, it is my honor to lead this coronation ceremony on behalf of the 6 clans. Lady Cnoc and Riabh of the King clan, our new ruler, who will surely lead Britain to a more prosperous future. Please make your way to the cathedral altar and the coronation pedestal.
It's begun. It's a very solemn affair, isn't it? So that crown has been blessed by all 6 clans, and once Cnoc and Riabh puts it on, that means she's officially become queen. Yep, pretty simple as far as ceremonies go. And since the clans have already come to a consensus, there shouldn't be anyone opposed to,
Okay, I figured something would happen. Here, everyone, these goblets are for you.
The moment the blessing is complete, you're to drink this wine to celebrate. Wait, what? Wait, aren't I a minor in this? Whoa, wine!
Are you going to drink that, Senpai?
I can't drink wine, but I can at least pretend.
Understood, then I'll follow your lead. I will too. Then. I'm not really much for wine anyway. Really? Guess I'll toe the party line then.
I don't care much for wine either, so... Alright, I can see where this is going. They're both thinking, alright, I can see where this is going. Yeah, they're going to attack us for not drinking the wine, are they? Please tell me they're... No, let us offer our blessing to celebrate the beginning of our new queen's reign. Cnoc Riabh, our new queen, please attest to your impartiality, your diligence, your commitment to coexistence, and your integrity.
Very well. As a Faerie of Britain, I swear to be impartial in all matters. As the head of the Northern Fairies, I will continue to be diligent. As the Faerie entrusted to rule by the Child of Prophecy, I believe firmly in coexistence. And as the daughter of Queen Great Mab, I promise my entire life will be one of...
Objection! You can't trust a single word she says. Wait, what? Cnoc Riabh is evil. The Northern Fairies have no place in Britain.
Who said that? Show yourselves!
What?
Huh? But you're my subjects.
We attest that Cnoc Riabh has no right to rule. And we are prepared to tell you about all the atrocities she has committed. Her regime in the north was a nightmare. Huh? What? Every fairy she shares her blood with becomes her slave and loses the ability to refuse her. She controls every aspect of our lives, makes army service mandatory, and even takes away our original fairy professions. And that's not all. My brother and I were both infected with Moore's disease. We only went to Edinburgh and became Cnoc Riabh's subjects because we heard it would be treated there. But the truth was horrifying. Her treatment was transferring our Morse curses to fairies she deemed worthless, condemning them to death. I was lucky enough to survive. But my poor brother was giving the Morse curses from several other fairies, turning into not just a hideous monster, but one of Cnoc Riabh's giant soldier slaves.
And what's wrong with that? Every one of those fairies knew exactly what they were signing up for. They volunteered of their own free will to sacrifice their bodies when they were already on the verge of death so they could save their fellow fairies and help defeat Morgan. I also gave each and every one of them rewards to suit their sacrifice. They weren't being exploited in any way, shape, or form.
Then what about what's underneath the Queen's city? How do you explain that horrible system?
You...
Hear me, everyone. Let me tell you about Queen Mab and Cnoc Riabh's secret betrayal of Britain. You probably all think Queen Mab is dead, but the truth is, she's still alive. Do you know why Edinburgh is known as the Queen's City? It's because Mab transformed her own corpse into that city, where it continues to function today. And for what purpose, you may ask? It disgusts me to say, but I'll power through. Mab planned to consume the bodies of the other dead fairies to expand her city and create a stronger version of herself. And the result is Cnoc Riabh. Cnoc Riabh, the corpse golem. I trust you understand now why the landmass in the north never actually grew. It's been 1500 years since Edinburgh was first made. In all that time, instead of fairy bodies growing Britain's landmass, they all went to the creation of the woman you see before you now. What else could you call that but a betrayal of our land? How dare they call themselves the King Clan? The truth is, Mab and Cnoc Riabh see us British fairies as no more than food for their own consumption.
Betrayal? You have no idea what Mab put herself through for your sakes. This land can exist without a fairy strong enough to sustain every other fairy. That's the only reason why Mab became a city of all things. Fine, if you want to know the truth so badly, I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason British fairies are still alive today after being wiped out once before. I'll tell you the truth behind the Britain we inherited from Queen Gah!
What the? Lady knocked on Riabh? That's impossible. Why is she coughing up blood? Damn it. Somebody stop those insolent bastards already. What do the guards do? Blah. He just runs. There, you see? Now that her sins have been exposed, they couldn't bear the weight of their shame. Now's your chance, guards. Bring Cnoc and Riabh to justice. Don't let the false queen get away with this. We can't let the Northern Fairy Queen of all people take the throne, especially when there's someone else much better suited for it. Wait, what the fuck? Altria!
What the hell do you all think you're doing?
Oh god, she looks pissed off. Wait, and who are the guards murdering, though? They just cut down a bunch of people. I've never seen her face look that... Oh, Jesus, man. Let's see. We may not be able to use double Castoria, but now that we have her, you know what? Let's bring Morgan back. Oh, Morgan. Excuse me. I'll just show him. Alright, here we go. This is getting kind of nutty. Huh. Woo! Okay, so what happened now? Like the music just stopped.
I realized what was happening as soon as I finished drinking the wine in my goblet. The wine they were passing out had been poisoned. At least the wine given to me, the Northern Fairies and Altria's... at least the wine given to me, the Northern Fairies and Altria's group. I'll be fine. I would have kicked the bucket a long time ago if my body couldn't handle a little poison. But I doubt Altria and Yusaku can say the same. I took a casual look at the back row and saw that none of them had touched their goblets. I don't know why that is. Probably just a coincidence. But at least I knew they were safe. I can't imagine Altria would have caught on, so it must have been Yusaku's idea not to drink any. The Northern Fairies here are all my long-serving subjects, so their connection to me is strong. They should be able to handle the poison as well as I can, so I'll pretend nothing is wrong and let the coronation proceed. There's no way I'm letting anyone spoil things now. There's no telling when the Great Calamity could begin. Britain needs a new king as soon as possible. There's no question who tried to poison us. But I guess things aren't just going to go their way. Sucks to be the... You can't trust a single word she says. Riabh is evil. The Northern Fairies have no place in Britain. But the second I saw which fairies were raising objections, I knew I was in trouble. The fact that members of my own clan were denouncing me meant that the enemy had prepared much better than I thought. I felt fine at first, but then I started to grow numb. I could feel my fingers losing their strength and my throat and organs burning as if on fire. These aren't the only self-proclaimed King Clan fairies denouncing me. Similar denunciations must be taking place all across Britain. My subjects' loyalty to me is both my greatest weapon and my biggest weakness. If I lose their loyalty, I lose the power I shared with them, too. In an instant, I lost over half my power. I could tell as soon as it happened. The poison, which I'd been able to shrug off earlier, starts to kick in, causing my oldest subjects to collapse. Normally the guard spears would only tickle me. Now they pierce my stomach and punch out through my back. Oh man, I guess I was more immature than I realized. Oh, excuse me. So, I must have been so excited about finally getting to wear this dress that I didn't notice it until it was too late. The Child of Prophecy attacked the cathedral guards! I knew it. I knew the Child of Prophecy and Cnoc and Riabh were in cahoots all along. This is the true face of the Fairy of Paradise and the descendant of the Northern Fairies. What a blood-curdling team they make. This is why we can't trust anyone but British fairies. Quickly, someone's got to get rid of these outsiders once and for... what was that? Shut up and get out of here, or the next one roasts you alive. But they're gonna spread the word, though. Not the Riabh! Not the Riabh! No. Come on, Cnoc and Riabh. Don't give up on me. What's going on? Why doesn't she stop bleeding? Why are her wounds closing? What's wrong with you, Cnoc and Riabh? These should just be little scratches for you. She's not generating nearly as much magical energy anymore. It's almost like her spirit origin is shrinking. No, wait. Is she reverting to a child? Come on, Cnoc and Riabh. Wake up already. You're going to be queen, right? That's what you've been working towards all this time, right? You're supposed to be looking down your nose at me and laughing like you always do. Come on, you big jerk. Uh-oh. Was I sleeping? Dr. Riabh, you're awake. Oh, thank goodness. Hang on, I'll treat you right away. Oh no, that's okay. I'm okay. I'm used to this kind of thing. That's weird. I know your face. I always remembered it when things were hard. You're my rival. Yeah. But I'm sorry. It's strange. I know you. But I don't know your name. I'm not sure what's going on. What is this place? All right. I'm not Riabh. I have a very, very important... Huh? What was my duty again? That's weird. I keep forgetting things. Oh, right. It's because I gave it to so many other fairies. I guess I didn't have any intelligence on my own left over. What are you saying, Dr. Riabh? You gave it all away? Everything? You gave away your magical energy? Your miracles? Even your intelligence? You used it all up to get here. All for those ungrateful fairies? For this awful Britain? I'm sorry. Please, don't cry, stranger. I still know who you are. You were always my guide. As long as I follow your light, I know I can always find my way home. Don't give me that! Come on, cut it out! Besides, we haven't had a rematch yet, right? You still need to fight me! And once you're queen, you're going to have a great romance, right? You haven't even taken the first step yet. So come on, Dr. Riabh, you can't give up now! That's not true. I beat you there too, stranger. I already had a taste of love. It was really, really lovely. And once the ceremony is done, I'm going to make him mine. It'll be way harder than becoming queen. Wait, hold on, Dr. Riabh. Don't disappear on me. I told you can't give up now. I never would have made it this far if I hadn't met you. If I lose you too, I don't... Liar. You'd never give up that easily. You're too stubborn. Even if you're all alone, I'm sure you'll find your star. She's dead.
Well, that sucks. I took care of all the guards who pulled their swords on us. The other spectators all fled. Did Spriggan do this? Nah, he ran off in a panic as soon as things started going south. I don't like it. It ain't just arguing I hear out there. Those fairies are killing each other. And here I thought fairies didn't fight if they weren't part of an army. I think the fairies of Salisbury are probably trying to get rid of the northern fairies. I don't know how much of an effect those King Clan fairies' testimony had. But now I'm afraid Lady Cnoc and Riabh isn't here to stop them anymore. Now the southern fairies feel justified in attacking Edinburgh. And the northern fairies who still consider themselves the King Clan will fight to avenge Lady Cnoc and Riabh's death. The way things are going now, Britain will be consumed in civil war again. What a terrible waste.
Yes, this is supposed to be the start of a new era, with a benevolent new king leading the way. Instead, it's just like what happened with the coronation at... Londinium?
Sorry, but we'll have to pick this discussion up later, with clear heads. Those guards have got the cathedral completely surrounded. We gotta figure a way out of here before they come for us too. No way. Don't tell me they're after Altria too.
Whoever did this just assassinated the Northern Queen who managed to conquer Camelot. I don't know what charges they'll level at me, but I'm definitely next on their list. My guess is some nonsense about me conspiring with Cnoc and Riabh to take Britain for myself or something. No, on second thought, I doubt there's a fairy in Britain who isn't already dying to kill me.
That ain't it. Whoever poisoned that wine had no idea what the Fairy of Paradise's mission is. If they had, they never would have killed Cnoc and Riabh. She was the only one who could have saved Britain, or rather, its fairies. And now her assassination just killed the last hope they had of survival, which I doubt they realize. But never mind that. What are you gonna do now, Altria? You gonna follow Cnoc and Riabh to the grave, or are you gonna pick up where you left off? I'm a reasonable guy. Just this once, I'll respect whatever you decide. But her pilgrimage is already over.
That's far enough, child of prophecy, foreign mage. Lay down your weapons and surrender. You stand accused of murdering Lady Cnoc and Riabh. We received testimony from many different fairies that you not only interfered with the coronation, you also murdered the guards who tried to stop you. As the head of the Salisbury security, I'm placing you under arrest.
Arrest? What are you saying, Lady Coral? We obviously caught them red-handed. The Child of Prophecy deceived us. The foreign mage can't be trusted, and Percival of the Round Table Army instigated the whole thing. We can't let them leave here alive. Let's just cut them down now and stick their heads on the pikes in the town square. That should calm things down.
Absolutely not. Testimony alone cannot be taken as facts. They have a right to share their side of the story, and as the Wind Clan, we must strive for impartiality. What do you think you're doing?
Come on, let's get them. But don't go easy on them just because we outnumber them. They managed to survive a fight against Morgan. They've got to be tougher than the Londinium soldiers. Fight back if you want, but any resistance will be taken as a confession of your guilt. Well, that's fucked up. But if the three of you give yourselves up, we'll let the other fairies live. They just want to kill us. What the fuck? So what'll it be? All of you dead or just the three of you? Go ahead, the choice is yours. How? This is custom-made mithril armor. Shut up, we don't have time for this crap.
You just killed Margart.
If you want to run for it, go right ahead. You seem like the reasonable sort. I don't see any reason to burn you to...
Kuhulan!
What?
You blocked my attack?
Oh, we gotta fight her now?
Of course I did. Such a cowardly sneak attack doesn't hold a candle to the real Lancelot. Melusine, you're here too? Then the one responsible for all this must be... Shut up, Coral. It's not my job to keep you safe. My job is to neutralize the Child of Prophecy and the Chaldeans. You can handle the aftermath how you like, as far as I'm concerned. Turn them into rabbits, strangle them, imprison them. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, but I will say this. I wouldn't go outside for the next few hours if I were you. The city's erupted in fighting. You wouldn't last 2 seconds out there.
And now Lancelot, huh? Just what we needed. We might be able to take her if we all face her together, but... Altria's still in shock. Without her protection, we'd probably just lose at least one or two. There's no need for that. I can handle Lancelot myself. Go on, everyone. Now's your chance to escape. I'll meet you at the usual spot outside the city.
What are you saying, Percival? I only need to take care of the child of prophecy in the Chaldeans. You have nothing to do with...
Oh yes I do, they're my comrades. I trusted my life to them in battle. Most of all, they're friends I admire and respect. I don't care if they're the fairy or the fairy of paradise or the residents of the outside world, or even if they're from a different world altogether. None of that changes the fact that we've all lived and fought together. These people have done everything they can to follow the path they believe is right, and to help their comrades do the same. They devoted themselves to that purpose, and I'm going to do everything I can to help them. That is what it means to be a knight. That is what the Round Table signifies. That is what I was taught at this very cathedral. I was raised to become a knight worthy of the spear of selection, to be a replacement for the child of prophecy if necessary.
That's right. Just because the reasons that brought you children here weren't tainted doesn't mean your spirits need to be tainted too. I'm so proud of the men you've grown into. That's why I don't want to lose you now. You've already used the spear selection twice, once 6 years ago, and once against Woodwoes. If you use it again, you...
I don't care. Besides, I still need to repay you for the blow you've dealt Lady Gareth. Even now, her bravery and spirit live on in this spear. Tamlin Lancelot. If you insist on going by that name even now that Morgan is gone, then I will show you no mercy. If you're going to repeat that terrible mistake, then I'll do everything in my power to correct it. Wait, she just vamoosed. Thank goodness. I don't know what we would have done if that hadn't worked. Did you really just talk her into retreating? Yes, my Lancelot is actually much kinder than she seems. I knew there was an excellent chance she'd listen to reason if I made a compelling argument, so I took a calculated risk.
I don't know about you, Senpai, but that seemed more like a harsh scolding than a compelling argument to me.
There's no telling when she might come back, though. Either way, now's our best chance to escape. Come on, Altria, Yusaku. We've got to find a way through the blockade and get out of this city. Holy crap, man. I can hear the crowd. Oh, I'm gonna get my quartz. And remember, like we're escaping the city. I'm just picking up any quartz I find on the floor.
What a wonderful knight Percival's become. He's honest, gentle, dependable, but I've never seen him so angry. He's actually the one who taught me what it means to be human, now that I think about it. I know what I'm doing is foolish, but I just can't help it. Are those screams coming from around Salisbury? No, it's not just Salisbury. I can hear them from all over. Gloucester, Oxford, Norwich. Are those Moors? They're not just keeping to the forests and ravines. They're coming out to the plains and highways too. No, wait. Fairies are turning into Moors on their own?
God damn, this just... what the shit? We just received a wind tiding from Salisbury. Queen Cnoc Riabh has been assassinated. Accusations from King Clan fairies have stoked resentment against Edinburgh. And now the northern fairies and the upper class fairies in the castle are fighting amongst themselves.
Those Those idiots! How could they let themselves be riled up like that without a shred of evidence? Where are they? I'll go silence them myself. You there, capture the fairies who are spreading the wind tiding. I'll slap them with the new administration's first charge of treason.
Emergency! A pack of Moors has appeared within the castle town limits. We received a ton of incident reports from all over the city. We don't have enough soldiers to handle them all. What will you have us do, Your Excellency, Acting Commander Barghest?
Don't call me Your Excellency. It makes me all twitchy. How could you let the Moors get inside? Hasn't the main gate been repaired by now?
Yes, ma'am, but there's no sign of them having entered from the outside. These Moors have been spontaneously appearing inside the city and making their way outside.
What? What about the secret lance removal?
I'm afraid we haven't heard anything from that team for over an hour. And that's not all. All the fairies inside the castle are experiencing numbness in their lip. Oh, fuck. Boy. Dreamt? But the Moors didn't even touch him. What is that? It's coming from the pit. Uh-oh. I remember Balban Sith went into the pit as well.
What is that? They're not Moors. There's something more primal, more horrifying.
Acting Commander Barghest? Damn it, here, give me your hand. We need to get you away from the pit.
Don't worry about me. I can stand on my own. You all need to get away from here. The pit is causing all these Moors to appear. They'll overrun the castle soon. Get to the plains while you still can. Tell all the other Round Table Army soldiers as well.
Yes, ma'am. But what about you? If we're going to run, you and the other fairies should come with...
Never mind me, and any fairy who could have gotten away has surely done so by now. Now go on, leave. Forget about Camelot. I'll hold the rear while you all make your escape. You only need to worry about survival. Dying out here is not an option.
Yes, ma'am. I know I'll be fine with the Tamlin Barghest protecting us.
They really are good soldiers. Strong, earnest, friendly. The Round Table Army did an excellent job training them.
Uh-oh, no. No!
My body feels hot. Is that the Morse poison? No, wait, this... This is the curse Queen Morgan was keeping at bay. Now that I'm no longer Gawain, it's only a matter of time until I... No, not yet. There are things I need to do first. I have to save as many fairies and humans as I can. I'll defeat the Moors in the castle town myself, or I'll never be able to look the Chaldeans in the eye. That's right. As long as Yusaku and the others are alive, hope is not yet lost. I can still save at least a handful of British fairies by helping them migrate, and I can get Adonis out of Britain. That's the reason I'm still alive.
Ooh, this is not looking good. Not looking good at all. Alright, got number 26, we find Berserker. Let's see that. Huh.
guess I'll use my Muramasa then. Sorry, I like her dress. We're safe. Yeah, the fairies on the north and the south are pretty busy fighting each other. No time for us. I figured it'd be easy to get out once we gave the cathedral guards the slip, but it wasn't that simple.
Yikes! They just closed the gates. We got out by the skin of our teeth. Wait, Habertrot's still at the pub.
Ain't much we can do for her now that the gates have been closed. Not unless you plan on approaching from the sky like Lancelot. But don't you worry, Habertrot's tougher than she looks, and she's used to this kind of stuff. She's probably giving Mike orders and defending the pub even as we speak. We can meet up with her again once everything calms down. And it's not like you're all that close to Habertrot anyway, are you? So don't worry about her too much. She can take care of herself.
I guess you're right.
I'm concerned about Habertrot too, but we got more pressing matters to take care of. Now that there's been suspicion cast on Altria for the assassination of Cnoc and Riabh. I mean, it's only a matter of time now until there's an all-out war between the northern and southern fairies. And since we've teamed up with the north, all 6 clans are going to be out for us and the Round Table army. Percival, you should head back to Londinium now, Anne. Percival, you okay? You look really pale. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm just tired. I'd like to think this uproar is confined to Salisbury. But you're right, Lord Muramasa. Time is of the essence. We need to act now before...
Don't be ridiculous! You can hardly breathe right now. You're not doing anything else until you get medical attention. We'll just have to find you a bed in Gloucester or some other nearby village. We can worry about what to do next after we take care of that.
I guess Altria's pulled herself together a little. Not just yet. We got some cleanup we need to do first. Looked like some Moors overheard the commotion. These still be a lot easier to handle than the riot in the Salisbury. Come on, let's take care of them, and... Hang on, why are there so many of them? Mash, Da Vinci, grab Percival and get him to that forest over there. Hurry! Grimmer, Yusaku, Altria, get ready to hold him off. We'll keep him busy for about 2 minutes, then make a break for the forest ourselves. Oh boy. So how is everyone in chat? Everyone doing alright? Everyone's Oberon pulls go good? For those of you who rolled. Oh.
Wait, 4 of them? There's gonna be 4 on the field? Oh, they all went down just the same. Wait, 5? I don't like the looks of this. Six. Okay, looks like it ended there. Don't tell me Moors are overrunning all of Britain now. I'm sorry. I should have been the one to fight.
Never mind that. Just shut up and eat this. It's some of my best dried fruit. It'll help you recover some of your strength.
Huh. That would have been funny if it did. It's a Zenzu bean. But wait, Zenzu beans can't cure illnesses, though. Fuck. Thank you, Altria. You really are the child of prophecy. You're one of the strongest, most honest people I've ever met. I knew I was right to wait for you, to believe that you'd come.
Oh, there's a ton of Moors all over the highway, too. What the hell is going on here? How can we get anywhere like this?
Hey, there you two are. How are things looking at the other cities? That bad, huh? I guess it's finally begun.
Grimmer?
We're not going to Gloucester or Londinium. There are Moors popping up all over the island, and every city's shut its gates. What's worse, all the fairies who are overcome with fear and all this... all the fairies who are overcome with fear and all this mess are turning into Moors on their own. Nowhere in Britain is safe anymore. This is the beginning of the great calamity. Fuck. Man.
今年もいよいよ夏が始まりました。何やらスリリングな小さなことからコツコツとですね。一歩一歩。
Just keeps getting worse. The Great Calamity? Already? Right, so. Don't forget, Morgan's been waiting on it all this time. Don't think she knew what form it'll... Don't think she knew what form it'll take, though. Great Calamity is like a pus that builds up in Britain over the course of a millennium. Massive death throes become magical energy that spills throughout the Isle, and the calamity that catches that magical energy grows as huge as a result. That's how the Great Calamities happen, and they're gonna keep happening as long as this Britain's around.
It almost sounds like bloodletting. A way of, well, letting out the bad blood that's built up in the land's veins. So what kind of calamity absorbed that blood this time, Grimmer? Can you tell?
Yeah, I can. Well, more than I already know. I couldn't tell while Morgan was still alive, but now that she's gone, I've got a good handle on what this calamity is. The thing that's been spoiling away in the pit for centuries is about to come out and say hello. That thing's basically why I was sent here in the first place, although I get the feeling there's more to it than that. Does this have something to do with the red and black calamities the prophecy mentions? From what Gary and Fricky have been smelling, there's signs of more than one calamity on the way. But those two calamities aren't my area, so I don't know what they are.
Wait a moment. Did you just say signs? Then, does that mean the calamities still haven't begun in earnest? If that's true, the thing at the bottom of the pit, the one Ace said would destroy all of Britain if it woke up is still asleep, and that means...
We can hit it now while we still got a chance? Exactly. You're a quick one, Missy. But to do that, we're gonna need the Fairy of Paradise's help. The old god of wisdom is telling me we're gonna need her to put the thing at the bottom of the pit, the one that awaits at the pilgrimage's end to sleep. Unfortunately, he didn't offer a lot of specifics. I still don't know exactly what that thing is, for example. Altria, I think it's time you told us about your pilgrimage's final destination. About the Fairy of Paradise's true purpose. Altria?
It's... Talk about the worst possible timing. Can they tell we're busy here? Never mind that call, Altria. Go on. What were you going to say? Huh?
That was a call. Chaldea just called us.
That's right. Don't you see, Da Vinci? We're getting a transmission. Our electronic devices used to be inoperable here, but now they're working again. Huh? Well, damn. Don't I look like a fool now? Hello? Hello? This is codename Watson. Do you read me, Chaldea?
Loud and clear, Miss Watson. This is 2021. This is 221B Baker Street. The last carrier pigeon message we received is 4 days old at this point. Sorry. Whoa. So, I'm afraid we're not entirely clear on your current situation. But permit me to summarize ours. About 1 hour ago, the border's various systems began coming back online, including the systems that would previously shut down if we so much as approached the Isle. At the moment, our electricity is being provided by the steam generator while we perform maintenance on all parts of the ship. We can also tell from our radar that a dense magical energy contamination has settled all over Britain. It is too soon for this to be more than conjecture, but I believe we can say Britain has begun its collapse. It was the Isle of Britain itself that rejected proper human history, and therefore the storm border. With Britain losing its power, we too can now intervene in matters more directly. Then you mean the border's back up and running? Naturally, Mr. Yusaku. Which is why I would like all of you to return post-haste. The professor still has yet to fully recover, I'm afraid. So we'll need your help to put together a navigational program that'll let us maneuver through Britain's dense magical energy, Da Vinci. Once you have all returned to the storm border, it should be ready to begin operations in approximately 6 hours. Come on, Da Vinci, what are we waiting for?
Right, with the storm border on our side, we can definitely handle the pit. No, we can face any calamity that comes at us, and we can heal Percival in no time too.
Thank you. I truly appreciate your kindness, but I have to refuse. Please, just leave me here. Time is of the essence, right? I couldn't live with myself if I slowed you all down.
Don't be ridiculous. I can carry you no problem. You won't slow us down at all. Right, Da Vinci? Only if you don't run into any more packs of Moors. And unfortunately, the odds of that are pretty low. Percival, it's only a matter of time until more Moors show up here too. If we leave you here alone, we'll basically be leaving you to your death. But you knew that, didn't you? Even though you said you consider Altria, Mash, and Yusaku friends.
Yes, I know this is very selfish of me, but...
Gotcha. Well, if you're that committed, I guess there's nothing more to say. Da Vinci? So instead of saying anything, we're just gonna bring you with us, whether you like it or not. Isn't that right, Red Rabbit? Yeah, I know you're hiding over there.
Red Rabbit, hey! Oh, and no one else knew. So, you already knew, huh? So much for waiting for the perfect time to surprise you, Snort. Nay. Redra, what are you doing here? Good question. I do have my reasons, but I can't tell you what they are. All I can do is ask you please trust me and not pursue this line of questioning further. Nay. At any rate, I overheard the whole thing from behind that tree. It sounds to me like you all need a carriage, and one that verges on an unsafely fast at that. One pulled by the fastest fairy horse in Faerie Britain, who can keep galloping non-stop until we reach our destination.
That makes 70. Pathetic. I can't believe I'm already so exhausted. My body is burning up. My horns feel like they're about to burst.
I can't really scream to other people sleeping now. Fuck.
What's going on? The more I defeat, the more of them there are. It's as though my exhaustion keeps growing. I can't seem to think straight. There's no end to them. They're just going to keep coming. But I must keep them away from the Round Table Army's survivors outside the castle. Have at you, Moors.
Oh boy. Oh my god.
私が出る。敵ではない。命令と。
Oh my god.
この剣は法の立証。ひざまずけ。ブラックドッグガーティー。この剣にかけて着陸強者剣。私の力弱い。命令か。いいだろう。
Kill them all!
この剣は法の立証。ひざまずけ。ブラックドッグガーティー。着陸強者剣。この剣にかけて強き。それは弱い。私の力いいだ。敵ではない。命令と。ジェイルブレイカー。この剣にかけて。
Huh. Alright, that was quick. No, it's covered in blood.
What's going on? Everything looks red. Did some more poison get in my eyes? I can barely see. It may as well be nighttime. There. That was the last of them. It wasn't easy, but at least the Round Table Army should be safe.
Green. Wait. Did she kill the Round Table Army? Did she lose control?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough. I'm sorry I told you to escape this way. But what other way was there? If you'd stayed inside, none of you would have survived there either. Maybe I should have just eaten them all. The weak can be food for the strong, so the strong can protect the weak. That's right. Even if Britain is reaching its end, there's still someone I want to protect. I have to go. I'm sorry I can't rest in peace here with all of you. I have to get to Manchester. I'm its lord. I have to protect the people there.
Oh, looks like we have the reset.
「敵を攻撃した時やスキルなどで発生するスターは1つにつきクリティカルの確率を 10% 小さなこと」。
No battles here. You know, you're pretty good at doing different voices. Oh, thanks. I'm trying. So, how's it going, Bean?
Damn it, there are Moors everywhere. They must be the same predatory type we saw in Norwich. Hurry, I don't care if you grind the wheels into dust. Just make sure we reach Norwich by nightfall.
But Lord Spriggan, what about the soldiers we left outside Salisbury?
Don't say it, believe me. I hate to lose soldiers like that after everything I invested in training them. But we're helpless against so many Moors, armed or not. Humans can only do so much. We need the Fang clan to handle a threat this large. Not that they've been any help, since there's been no sign of them ever since they left for Gloucester.
Then what's the point of running back to Norwich? Shouldn't we cooperate with the Northern Fairies again to...
Why do you think I'm exercising my last resort? Any chance of an alliance with... Any chance of an alliance with...
Goddamn, I'm tripping over my tongue.
Any chance of an alliance with the North died with Cnoc and Riabh. Damn it, of course I was going to have her assassinated eventually, but there's a time and place for this thing. Why did she kill Cnoc and Riabh now, instead of waiting after the damn great calamity? Morgan's history proves beyond a doubt that the fairies need a king to help them in line. Keep them in line. What in the world was she thinking? No. Don't tell me she wasn't thinking at all. She didn't give a single thought to the future, didn't have designs on rising to power, nor the desire to run this country her own way. She didn't think about any of that. She killed Cnoc and Riabh solely because she didn't like her. I can't believe it. How in the world did that monster survive for 2,000 years with such an empty head?
Who are they talking about? Don't trust the Northern Fairies! Cnoc and Riabh was a calamity! Salisbury is Lady Aurora's city. We'll protect it ourselves. Wait, Aurora did it? Wait, Aurora killed Cnoc and Riabh? That's why I've been seeing all over Twitter how much everyone showed so much hatred for Aurora. Is that why? Have any fairies been infected with Moor's poison? Let us know before it gets worse, and we'll treat you right away. It's dangerous outside. Don't let the humans out of the city. They're our property. Anyone who tries to open the gate is a traitor. If you see someone trying it, say something. Conduct yourselves in a manner befitting the clans. Lady Aurora will save us. Holy fuck. Did Aurora really just fucking kill us all? Long live Lady Aurora! Long live Lady Aurora! Long live Lady Aurora! Long live Lady Aurora!
Oh, good. I'm so glad to see the night passed without incident. And I'm especially glad things have calmed down outside. Here, Coral, come join me for a cup of morning tea. Lady Aurora, I'm afraid I can't agree about the night passing without incident.
Holy fuck, she was the one who... God damn, man! Fucking snake!
There's so many fairy corpses on the streets that we're having trouble disposing of them, especially since we can't take them outside with the gates closed. And then, there are the Northern Fairies. Oh, yes.
She doesn't look evil, but she planned this. I think Spriggan just found out a little too late.
Oh, yes. It's very sad how things turned out for them. Not only is Cnoc and Riabh dead, but now everyone knows Edinburgh's secret. What happened to the Northern Fairies who were here in Salisbury? They collapsed immediately after Lady Cnoc and Riabh's death. We took the ones who were still breathing into the rearing house and are keeping them under close watch. The rearing house? Since when have we had a rearing house? You ordered it built 16 years ago to raise human children. It's been abandoned for 6 years now, so I took the liberty of repurposing it. Oh yes, that darling little house. I always did like it, and it turned out so wonderfully adorable. But you know... Now, what was his name again? Well, ever since I cast out that gray-haired human boy, I haven't been quite able to bring myself to visit again.
Wait, gray-haired human boy? I don't think Cnoc was here. He should be on the storm border.
Oh, I thought you had forgotten all about him. Lady Aurora, may I ask why you cast him out? What do you mean? He grew up after using the spear only once, remember?
Percival.
And he couldn't become the child of prophecy once he looked grown up, right? He was human after all. Right, of course. Was I wrong to reopen the rearing house? Oh no, Coral. It was a wonderful idea. That building is fully equipped for pest control. It's perfect for the injured northern fairies. A wave of my finger will send them all to their eternal rest.
What the fuck?
But never mind them. Has the Child of Prophecy's gang been captured yet? I can't believe they'd stoop so low as to kill Cnoc and Riabh just because they lost the competition.
What the fuck? You blaming us, bitch?
We'll just have to make sure the Child of Prophecy is brought to justice for this abominable crime. The foreigner's just as culpable, but I'm sure the Child of Prophecy must have tricked him into helping her. I will have to ask that his sentence be lighter. He won't be able to tell me all about the outside world if he's dead. Doesn't that sound lovely, Coral? I wonder what the world outside Britain is like. Humans made everything in that world, and so many different kinds of humans at that. I'm sure it must be simply overflowing with wonders that'll make your eyes pop out of your head.
I don't like the way she phrased that.
Lady Aurora, I'm afraid now's not the time for that. The number of Moors outside the city has continued to grow, and fairies from nearby villages have been pounding on our gates asking to be let in. There are even some fairies here in Salisbury who have been showing signs of Moor's disease. We need to increase our shelter capacity immediately. Once we open the gate and let the refugees in, we'll need to open the cathedral's doors as well. We can't possibly tend to all of them ourselves. So we'll also have to request aid from the humans in Gloucester or London. Why bother? Just leave the gates closed. Oh, and do have the human guards dispose of the fairs and Moor's disease, won't you? That's the whole reason we've been raising humans in the first place. Lady Aurora, what are you saying? I know humans are lower life forms, but they still feel. It seems far too cruel to have them put down their own friends and neighbors. And what about the refugees outside? How are we... Oh, don't worry about them. They're very strong, or they wouldn't have chosen to live in their dingy forests. Or they wouldn't... Sorry. Oh, don't worry about them. They're very strong, or they wouldn't have chosen to live in their dingy forest instead of my lovely city. I'm sure they'll find some way to get through this. We'll just focus on keeping Salisbury safe. Time will take care of everything, Coral. All you can do is stay calm and wait. So you're not going to do anything? You just want us to remain here in the bell tower where it's safe? Now, Coral. Don't be difficult. I'd hate to strip you of those pretty, pretty rings. Like I did the Halabaromia. You remember him, right? He was always arguing me with this silly logic. You're not like him, right? You're a smart girl who understands my feelings.
Oh god, just because someone BTFO'd her with logic, she just had them killed. She's like, no, my feelings are more important than your logic. God damn, now I can see why everyone hates her now.
That's exactly why I know you'll continue working for me for the rest of your days.
She doesn't look too happy about it.
And that's all we know. We only have the wind tiding to go on, so we don't have any more details.
She's basically Hitler, but pretty. Maybe? I don't know.
But it looks like the coronation at Salisbury was interrupted. The child of prophecy killed Lady Cnoc near Riabh. And mass quantities of Moors have been appearing all around Britain. They also said that Moor's poison had been seeping out of the pit, and that all of Camelot is subsumed in a black fog. I see. It seems the great calamity has begun then. But this changes nothing for Gloucester. As long as fairies vow to abide by Gloucester's way of doing things, that is, to have fun above all else, regardless of clan affiliation, then offer refuge to anyone who asks. My Fae domain is alive and well. No Moors will be making their way into Gloucester. Although, there isn't anything we can do for fairies within Gloucester who spontaneously turn into Moors. We'll just have to have the Fang Clan mercenaries dispose of them. No, on second thought, send them out to rescue fairies stranded in nearby villages. The Fang Clan has more resistance to Moor's poison than the other clans. That's why they'll be able to kill the Moor's king.
But didn't you kill the Fang Clan dudes?
So if the only problem is an explosion of Moors, the Fang Clan should be able to handle it. What we need to prepare for is the calamity afterwards, that fog or whatever it is coming from the pit. Even though Morgan is gone now, the system she created is still rock solid. Camelot has always held the Fang Clan in reserve for situations like this. As long as we use them properly, we have nothing to fear from the calamity. Lady Murian, the Fang Clan as well. What are you still doing here? I thought I gave you an order. I'm going to keep studying the pit. I'm finally getting to the truth of it. The passages in the documents Morgan hid away are about Britain's origins, Cernunnos, and the first prophecy. If I can decipher them, I'll know what the Great Calamity really is. Whatever's trying to destroy our Britain, I swear to reveal it, or I'm not the head of the Wing Clan and the Lord of Gloucester. Yes, Lady Murian. It's no wonder you're Britain's wisest, fairest ruler. We Glasstonians are proud to have you as our leader. Don't worry, we'll take care of the city. No, this is no time to take a breather. There is not a moment to spare here. I need to find the answer before Koyanskaya gets back, or I won't be able to call myself her friend. I knew it. Koyanskaya told me about these beings called gods, and it looks like there was once one in Britain too. Cernunnos, the god of beasts and islands who parted the seas. That must be the god at the bottom of the pit. The real question is, why did this god disappear? What did the six clans wish for? But most of all, what made this world go down a different route than proper human history in the first place? I'm so close to the answer now. I can almost taste it. 14,000 years ago, an invader that fell to the planet from a shooting star. And then, the fairies. No, that can't be right. But it's the only explanation. Then we brought this on ourselves? No, a fairy's sins are their own. You can't punish children for their parents' sins. And besides, if this really is true, then the pit existing makes sense. It isn't a god trying to destroy us, but the Isle of Britain itself.
Who was that?
Congratulations, Murian. You got it. And thank you for getting rid of the Fang Clan, by the way. That made it so much easier for the calamity to spread unchecked. Had the Fang Clan still been around, they'd have kept killing enough Moors that the Great Calamity would never show up. This time, I'm going all out. The more calamities, the better. Thanks again for doing your part to end things. Besides, you got your revenge, and you learned the truth about Britain. You did everything you wanted, yes? No regrets? Then it's time to pack it in.
Holy crap, she...
It's you. Yes, that's right. Oh, and before you go, permit me one final confession. I'm sorry for sicking the Fang clan on the Wing clan all those years ago. I honestly didn't have any real reason. I was just in a bad mood that day. Terribly sorry.
Who the fuck was that? Fighting the Avenger? It's been a day and a half since I started galloping along the coastline. It should be on the western shore soon. Nay. Incidentally, I've started losing all feelings on my forelegs. My hind legs too, for that matter. Nay. To be perfectly blunt, I'm afraid any more running could endanger my life. My life as a Fae racehorse, that is. Thanks, Regia. We can take it from here. Not at all. Even putting my legs aside, the wagon wheels are about 20 seconds from falling off. Are you all ready to run to the ocean as soon as you're out of the carriage? I see a whole mess of moors over on the shore. I never did figure out what exactly propeller humming history was all about. Nay. Propeller humming history. But I suspect it means you all are the brave warriors destined to truly save Britain. It's been an honor to accompany you on your journey. Alright, this is as far as I go. Take care, everyone. Nay! Thanks, Regia. You've been the best damn horse I've ever seen. Come on, Grimmer. It's our turn now. Let's clear them a path.
戦闘からなるべく避けたいところだった仕方ない。
真夏のチャームロックオン。はち切れそうでしょ。遊びはおてんばですか？あくまでカレーにおてんばです。シャワールームに行っちゃいます？お待たせしました。ジャイアント BB ちゃんです。水しぶきにもなれませんでしたね。サマーパケーションコッパに時間を日向に火薬好き放題扱ってあげましょう。悪夢のクレープおてんチェストさあ喜びなさい。声は遠くに私の影は世界に。ファーストカッティングクレーター。はい、皆さんまとめて1です。サマーパケーションバーンボンバーヘイヘイ豚さんターク。
What the heck? No! Don't crash on me! No, mute first instead. Just to make sure it doesn't, yeah, make sure. Just to make sure it doesn't play another opening and stuff. Ha! I was right. No copyright strikes for this guy. Oh no, my leg's feeling all weird. Oh my god. I kind of wish we can. I mean, I like the opening for the Lostbelt thing, but I kind of wish we can skip it at times like this. Oh my god. No, my leg. No, my leg's not asleep though. I just that some weird aching pain on like my there. I guess in the ankle area at the bottom of my ankle. Kind of like it hurts when I kind of turn my foot a bit though, but it's not too bad though. Okay, so I can unmute. Okay, cool. There you go.
無人島空いてますよ。こういうのドキドキします。エネミー・イン・ザ・チョコレート。先輩にこうなりたいですか？無駄ですよ。
他にやることないの？じゃあこういうのどうだ？つまり途中だな。他にやることないの？
やっ、おてんばですか？チェストバーン！よっはっなへいへい豚さんだーく無駄ですよ。現場ですか？やっほーバーンボタンよっなへいへい豚さんだーくうわ無駄ですよ。
Keep going after her.
遊びはここまで。おてんばですか？おてんばで私が無人島空いてますよ。こういうのドキドキします。エネミー・イン・ザ・チョコレート。先輩にこうなりたいですか？バーンボタン国家にうわ
Alright. So... how do I guess I'll just use a command spell. I'll unlock the command cards here now. Ooh, Buster Unga Bunga.
おてんばですさあ喜びなさい声は遠く私の神の世界をカースト
Oh, Doom! How's it going, my man?
皆さんまとめて
Thanks for the raid, buddy! Let me give you a shout out. Oh, you've been playing Warhammer. How's that going? Hey, Doom, how's it going? By the way, I saw you got yourself a Korinskaya. Congrats on that. That's good. It's good you're playing New Vegas so far. Oh! I haven't played in Fallout New Vegas in a while. You got your wife, huh? She's very helpful too. Wow, I've never seen the command room so frantic. Congratulations on a job well done, Yusaku. Good to see you safe and sound. This place seems to be seriously bad news. Our senses are detecting a positively absurd magical energy signal. According to Shiba, we've only have a few hours until the collapse begins. I wish I could give you time to take a breather in your quarters, I really do. But can you tell me more about just what is going on here before I have an aneurysm? But first, roll call. That must be Altria, the king author of Faerie Britain. That must be Percival of the Round Table Army, and that's obviously Ku Hulane. And that must be Senji Muramasa, the alter ego disciple of the foreign god. Excellent! I can see they're all just as capable and dependable as I thought. Having them on board should give us just the edge we need. Guten Tag, denizens of the land of the Fae. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Gordolf Music, Director of Chaldea, and the Commander of the Border. Given the circumstances, I see no point in discriminating between those of you from proper human history and those of you from the Lostbelt. Since we're all in the same, very rapidly sinking boat, I hope I can count on your help in resolving this unprecedented crisis. By the way, how come there are so few of you? Didn't Da Vinci's reports mention at least a few others? Gareth and Oberon didn't make it. What? How about the Northern Fairies then? Didn't you have a Mab Mitch? Didn't you have a Mab match with a Mabe lookalike where you became mad friends?
Cnoc and Riabh passed away during her coronation.
Oh, I see. Then her death can't have been a peaceful one. What a terrible shame. So, you have a good stream, Doom? Yeah, you brought a lot of people with you. Well, we can't count on help from those who have already passed on, and there's no point in dwelling on it. Alright, let me tell you what the situation is here. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's good to hear from you, man. We've begun our water takeoff sequence, but it's going to be several hours yet before we can leave. Technical advisor, I need you in the computer room yesterday. Nemo Professor needs your help. Mash, see that our two guests are well tended to. No, wait. Take Percival to the infirmary first. He's not looking too good. Muramasa, Grimir, now that you're aboard my ship, you'll be treated like any other Chaldean servant. Captain Nemo here will brief you on our plan of attack. As for you, Yusaku, I see you're in just a sorry state as ever, but that's nothing new for you by now, is it? First,
I want you to get yourself checked over at the infirmary, then use our precious few command spells to replenish yours. After that, you'll return here and brief myself and the administrative advisor on every place you've visited in Britain. As you know, we'll be going in there ourselves in the storm border in just a few hours. So we're going to need all the information you can give us on the land of the fairies who live in it. Yes, sir. Good. It's been a day and a half since our last transmission, so if we leave in 6 hours, that'll be about 2 days. I don't see the entire world ending in 2 days, so we should have plenty of time, I think. Nonetheless, this is going to be a fearsome battle, so make sure you're all well rested and ready for anything.
Two hours into the emergency meeting. I see. Very well. I believe I now have a firm grasp on what transpired since our last communication. I appreciate your attention to detail, Mr. Yusaku. With your information, I now know what we need to do, though whether we can do it is another matter entirely.
Oh? So what is it we do then?
Broadly speaking, we have two goals. The first is to prevent Britain from collapsing. That will require us to investigate the pit, stop the calamity, and wipe out the Moors that have sprung up all over Britain. And the second is acquiring the divine construct. We came very close on the latter, but it seems we were thwarted at the last moment.
Ah yes, the sacred lance that was supposed to be sent from Camelot. I don't blame the Round Table Army for this, but I still can't help but wonder if they couldn't have finished just a day sooner, damn it.
About that, Grimmer, could we see you here for a moment?
What's up? Got a question for me?
I do, yes. It pertains to the divine construct. We thought we could achieve that goal by seizing one of the Camelot's secret lances. But according to Mr. Yusaku, you seemed a bit put off when the topic came up before. May I ask why that is? Awesome. I don't know if a sacred lance made by Morgan is something we can actually use ourselves. But even if we can't, it'll be an invaluable divine construct just as a reference. Thanks again, Percival.
Damn, you got a mind like a steel trap, don't you, Yusaku? Yeah, that's right, you guys are barking up the wrong tree. Taking one of Camelot's sacred lances for yourselves doesn't mean you'll automatically be able to fit it into the ship. Divine constructs are closely tied to their wielder. You might be able to create one, but you having the right to actually use it isn't the same thing. Until you guys get back what you at Chaldea know, what all of proper human history lost when the world was wiped clean. You'll never be granted a divine construct of your own. We lost something during the bleached earth phenomenon? Excuse me.
It can't be, but no. It's the only logical explanation. So that's why we had to come to this Lostbelt. And Miss Sion sent us here because she knew about it.
Ah! Alert! 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 There's been a change in Central Britain's gravity! Whoa! It's as strong as the foreign god's pseudo-black holes! Something really gross is emerging from there. I don't even want to look at it. You think that's bad? I'm seeing fire spreading all over Britain. Looks like it started in the northwestern part of the Isle. A whole tsunami of fiery wind is blowing across all of Britain from Manchester.
A change in the pit's gravity? Keep it together. Gather as much detailed information as you can. I also want to see this phenomenon myself. Point the ultra long-range lens we used in Atlantis at Central Britain.
I'm trying, but we can't see a thing out there. It's as dark as the bottom of the ocean out there. But we're still positive about what's going on.
Then it looks like we'll have to see what's going on for ourselves. Any word from the professor? How much longer until the navigational program is done?
She said it's already done. She just needs 30 more minutes to test it before it's deployed.
Good to have Da Vinci back. That's 3 hours sooner than I expected. Gordolf, Holmes, the ship is ready for battle. Yusaku, would you bring Mash and Altria Caster up here? We don't have a single second to spare. I hate to do this, but it looks like we won't have any time for a test drive before we head out.
Okay, that should handle your minor injuries, and I also gave you a stimulated ampoule.
Sorry.
But are you sure you don't want to try the recovery pod? It might not help you recover completely, but it should at least give you a little more energy.
Thank you for your help, Da Vinci, but yes, I'm sure. I'll wait until after the great calamity has been dealt with. If I get into that bed, I'll be unconscious for several days, right? I'm the commander of the Round Table Army, and that's the time I cannot afford to lose. Even if I can't be of much help, I still want to see what becomes of Britain. And besides, how could I ever face my soldiers if I told them while Britain faced this crisis I was asleep? Besides, there's something I need to tell you too, Altria. I was hoping to keep this to myself, but I can't do that now that I blabbed about it back at the cathedral.
This is about you being the substitute child of prophecy, isn't it? Is that also why you're in poor health right now? From what I have gathered, it was Aurora who took you and those other human children in just as after you were born. Woodwose was the one who saw you had talent at the reading house, and Lancelot taught you how to use a sword. I'm guessing the purpose behind all that was to create their own child of prophecy.
That's right. After Einzel's prophecy became known, a number of different measures were taken in response to the child of prophecy. The Queen's army captured all the fairies who had just been born. Some villages hid next-generation fairies who met description. And some villages raised them in secret. The Lord of Salisbury's idea was this. If we don't know where the child of prophecy will appear, we can just prepare our own in the meantime.
So that's why you and those other human children were taken in and raised to be warriors. You were meant to serve as the child of prophecy in case the real one didn't appear 16 years later.
True. That may have been one of their reasons.
So what happened afterwards?
Lord Woodwose determined that I had the most potential out of all the candidates. What's more, Salisbury possessed one of the weapons Ace the Savior used to save Britain in the Fae era. This spear, the Spear of Selection. However, Ace had placed a seal on the spear that prevented any sinner from using it. In practice, it meant that only humans couldn't even touch the spear, let alone wield it.
So that's why they used human children. Even if they are not as strong as fairies, they can use the Spear of Selection. And that was the bar that had to be met to call oneself the child of prophecy.
That's right. Then when I was 10 years old, I succeeded at drawing out the Spear of Selection's power. I think it chose me, that it wanted me to use it to kill wicked fairies. I'm sure I heard a voice saying something like that in my head. That was also when the Mirror Clan disappeared from Britain. The day the Spear of Selection chose me was also the day she went to the Lake District on our Lord's orders.
Huh? Hang on, that doesn't make sense. The Mirror Clan disappeared 6 years ago, right? But you're...
The Spear of Selection uses its wielder's life force to generate its true power. I'm sorry, Altria. The truth is, I'm 16 years old too. I was 10 when the Spear of Selection chose me, and I aged 10 years as a result. That's why I have the body of a 26-year-old. Oh, damn. Alright. Oh god, she looks horrified.
But British humans only live 30 years on average. That's why you didn't age any more the second time you used it. You couldn't age more. Does that mean the only reason you're still alive now is...
Yes, I must have been born stronger than other humans. I guess Lord Woodwose did choose well, huh? That's why I owe you an apology, Altria. I was raised to be a substitute for you. No, to be a threat to you. But instead of coming clean about that, I began an organization meant to support you. I use your name without permission just so I can put the Round Table army together for my own selfish reasons. I have no right to speak about peace in Britain, but I went on around preaching it all the same.
That's not true at all. You didn't do this for yourself. You never did. Even now you're forcing yourself into action just to save Melusine.
Attention Stormborder. The ship is now battle ready. We've detected a powerful gravitational fluctuation in central Britain. Holmes believes this is the start of Britain's collapse. In 30 minutes, we will transition to flight mode and attempt to enter British airspace ourselves. All hands to the bridge. All hands to the bridge. I repeat, the ship is now...
Looks like that's all we've got time for now. I'm heading to the computer room. What about you two?
I'll go to the bridge too. I may be an imposter, but I still called myself a Knight of the Round Table. If nothing else, I want to honor my companions who lost their lives on the battlefield by seeing for myself what becomes of Britain. My own wish may be nothing to speak about, but I can at least honor theirs. A future where humans and fairies can coexist in peace. Well, that's some heavy stuff right now. What? God damn, the whole thing's on fire. They weren't kidding. Okay, no battles here. Well, what the devil's going on here? It's only been a day and a half. How is all of Britain burning in only a day and a half? I mean, I knew Moors were bad news, but this is unbelievable.
No, Moors don't use fire. Something else did this.
This has got to be the Red Calamity. Looks like the fire's coming from Manchester. Isn't that where we made the promise with Barghest? That we'd help some fairies migrate to proper human history if things went belly up.
That's right. Barghest told me about that. She said she already talked to Manchester's residents about the prospect of migrating outside Britain. And that they all loved the idea.
Then we need to hurry there now. That's where we're heading. We need to find out what's causing the fire anyway. It'll be something of a detour, but it shouldn't affect our entry route to the pit. How are things on your end, Da Vinci?
All systems green. We're making good time at 60 knots or 111 kph. You're heading to Manchester, right? I was just thinking we should make that our first stop too. We have to keep our promise to Barghest after all. We should be there in 10 minutes, but it's surrounded by a massive fire. At least the fairies inside should be safe. The town's ramparts ought to keep the fire out. We'll have to move the fairies onto the storm border all at once. There won't be time to guide them one at a time. So Yusaku, I'd like you and Mash to head there ahead of us and let them know that we're coming. I'll send the shadow border down to the surface as soon as we arrive in Manchester's airspace. It'll land automatically, but you'll still need a driver to get there. Can you do that, Munier?
Sure thing. Guess I'm the only one who can, since Chubby's gotta stay here as the commander. I'm impressed you accepted so readily, Munier. But I suppose you are the border's longest-serving pilot. Oh, well, yeah, pretty much. Besides, I've had it easy up until now.
Great. Okay, I'm counting on you guys to round everyone up and fill them in.
Got it. Oh god, my leg. Man, I feel like a paratrooper. Da Vinci thought up an autopilot mode for everything. Scanning for hostile entities. Good. No more is nearby. Outside temperature is 1,000 degrees Celsius. That's like running around inside a forest fire. Make sure your mystic code's on good and secure, Yusaku. Alright, full speed ahead to Manchester. Let's go! Open the hatch. We're heading out.
Huh? Meunier, the hatch is still locked. I need you to...
I'm sorry, I can't. You can't go out there now. Damn it, what the hell's going on here? You guys said Manchester was supposed to be this quaint, idyllic town, right? So what the hell am I looking at?
Meunier, what are you talking about?
Mash.
What are those?
They're corpses. A goddamn mountain of corpses. And not just fairies, humans too. And they didn't die in the fire. The human corpses are all torn apart. It looks like by fangs. And the fairies were hacked to bits with swords. Which means the humans were eaten alive.
Help! Help! She's gonna kill me! She's gonna kill me! Something's wrong with Lady Barghast. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. She said that we would all survive. She said Chaldea will keep us safe even if the great calamity struck here. No, I don't want to die anymore. I hate fire. I hate nights. Help! Help! Save me, Oberon! I don't want to be born just to be killed all over again. Barghast?
That's Barghast? She doesn't look anything like you described in your reports. Did she do this to Manchester? Damn. I've got to get out there. Yusaku, get back here, you idiot! Barghast, tell us what happened here.
Chaldea, you're here, just like you promised. But you can't be here. Leave. Go away. You need to escape. Prince fairies are... It's all my fault. I should have known better.
I can't really scream right now.
Master, quick! Get back inside the shadow water. It's not safe out here.
Dear God, she just kicked the border like it was a damn football.
Get the border out of here, Meunier. That's the magical energy eater Da Vinci wrote about in her reports. She's sucking up Senpai's life force.
I'm trying, but the steering wheel's not... Huh? Hang on. She's going away on her own. Guess she's not too interested in us. She's headed outside the city, I think towards Gloucester, and she's not alone. There's a bunch of black dog-like creatures following her. She's got them all lined up in a procession. It's like watching some twisted reel like Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Is that...
the Black Calamity? Alright. It's got 26 here. Man, things are getting really nutty.
I got the shed aboard safely stowed away. Are you guys ready to head to the pit now?
Yes, Manchester has been completely destroyed. Sorry. Given what has become of Barghest, and the fact that she is now leading a procession of black dogs, I believe it would be best to refer to her as the Calamity of the Beast from here on. Regardless, though, we take her on now, I agree that we should make our way towards the pit first. I trust there are no objections. Hey, come on. Just because it's true doesn't mean you gotta be so blunt about it. She might have been our enemy, but Barghest was one of the few fairies in Faerie Britain who...
It's okay. I'm not sure why Barghest slaughtered all of Manchester, but whatever the reason, it's no surprise he became a Moors after doing something so horrific. I have no problem calling her Calamity now.
Okay, if you're sure. Just don't push yourself too hard, okay, Altria?
In any case, we'll have to fight Barghest eventually, since she's the source of the fire spreading all over Britain. The walled cities are still holding out, but the fire's completely devastated the forest and plains. It also looks like the smoke from the fire's gathering in the sky and forming thunderclouds. She's consuming the lightning they generate as their primary food source. Her magical energy grows with every step she takes. We're going to have to stop her before she becomes a literally unstoppable monster.
Even so, we need to check the pit first. There's both a red and a black Calamity, right? We can't go to war until we know the enemy's strength. Luckily, the Calamity of the Beast is still moving slowly. She seems to be headed towards Oxford right now, but at this pace, it'll take her a good 4 to 5 hours to get there. That should give us enough time to come up with a plan of attack. Got that, Altria? Yusaku?
Yeah, what is that? What is that? Oh god, it's gross. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Stop that, Lookout. What are you talking about? You can see the pit, can't you? Save the wine for later and put it up on the monitor, now. Our primary objective is to acquire the sacred lance at the Camelot, whether we can use it or not. So we need to get a handle on what's going on with the pit as soon as possible.
Yes, sir. Putting it up on the monitor now.
It's big and fuzzy. Never trust the fuzzy things, people. What is that?
The black mist seeping from the pit is actually severe multi-layered curse contamination. Whatever you do, don't touch it. It'll make you go insane and rot your whole body. Although, whoa, this is amazing. The inside of the pit's almost like a whole other dimension. Every signal I fired, it just disappears. It's basically a cursed bottomless pit.
No, never mind the pit itself for now. That's the real problem. What are you doing, data collection? Get to work already!
I'm trying, but I can't. I can't get a read on its magical energy or its spirit origin.
I'm not even getting any real numbers for its mass or volume. Even when I compare it against the pit itself, just the part we're seeing here is showing up as over 2 kilometers long. Whatever it is, it's impossibly big. There's no other creature like this, not even the deepest ocean trenches. Grimmer, is that the same god that was present during the Britain's genesis? Yep, that's Cernunnos, the beast god. In Celtic mythology, it's the king of beasts. And the one who knows hell itself. Here, it's being responsible for Britain's creation. That thing's why the old god of wisdom chose me to come here as his vessel. That said, he didn't mention how much it changed. If this is his idea of a joke, I ain't laughing. That thing's way too big for anyone, human or fairy, to do something about. Huh. Huh. Alright. That's the creature from the mural. Is this really happening? Please tell me it's just a bad dream. Zeus I can understand. He was a machine, at least. Ivan the Terrible might have been a massive mammoth, but that made sense for the frigid tundra. But that's a living creature. There's no way any living creature could be that huge. And it's just standing there, right in front of Camelot. We can't possibly go in and collect the Rongominian now, or can we? What do you think, Administrative Advisor? Is there a chance we can get past that thing? I hate to say this, Gordolf, but I simply do not know. We simply know far too little about that creature to say anything for certain at this point. I can say that even viewing it through the monitors enough to give me palpitations. That creature is pure concentrated curse. In fact, I dare say there has never been a Benedict god more powerful. It would be suicide to set foot in Camelot right now, and yet... I suspect that creature is precisely why Queen Morgan prepared the sacred lances. Take a look where she kept them.
Then Queen Morgan...
was preparing a means to defeat that thing. She had a plan to protect Britain all along. Then we should go to Camelot. The sooner the better. I agree. Besides, the big guy hasn't moved, hasn't so much as budged. Maybe he's just there, existing, and that's what he does. Plus, servants ought to be able to withstand some degree of curse. So, I say we do what Yusaku says and head down to Camelot's throne room right now, before...
We can't. It's too late. It's all too late.
That haze looks like...
It's the same as the calamity we saw in Norwich. Then that must mean it was... Yes. Yes. That calamity was just Cernunnos' hand. One of many.
Never mind that now. That hand thing is creeping up the wall towards Camelot. No way. It's destroying the castle. Our magical energy gauge is going haywire. The curse contamination emanating from the pit just skyrocketed. It's currently at 600 to 40 million tons and still rising. It's a humongous tsunami of a curse, big enough to cover all of Britain. Ew. How do we beat that thing? Hard to port. 180 degrees. We need to get out of this airspace now. If that stuff swallows up the border, we're done for. Don't even let one of its fingers so much as graze us. Oh shit. We got a small little anime cutscene. It's no use. I'm giving all we got, but we're not getting any more altitude. Cernunnos must have 100, no, 200. I can't even count how many hands it's got. They're everywhere you look. We can't avoid them all, let alone get away from them. Oh god, it's stretching. Damn it, Da Vinci, what about the shadow border?
It won't work. Even if we get everyone on board in time, there's nowhere to run with the Grand Covenant curses. There's no way out of this. I think this might be it for us. Contact in 765. Goodbye, everyone. It's been swell knowing you.
Trap. Get the border out. Wait. Who the fuck used that?
We have visibility again. Those icky things are gone.
Wait, who the hell saved us?
Our engine output's back where it should be, too. We can get out of here no problem now.
Oh, good. That makes all the trouble I went to worth it. Wait. What? Wait, Koyanskaya?
I don't probably too worth. Now do you see why NFF Services guaranteed safety protection is the best in the business?
That voice! That honeyed, ice-cold, dangerously alluring, vitchy voice! That could only be... Tomomovich Koyanskaya? Wait, she turned into her beast mode. Hey, Doom, your wife saved us.
Lady Marian, did you leave the lights off again? You're going to ruin your eyes like this. I just got back from the coronation. I'm sure you've already heard how it turned out, but... Bloodstains? Marian? Oh, Koyanskaya, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. I still hadn't said a proper goodbye. Oh, perfect. I actually came here to say goodbye myself. Thank you so much for all your help with fundraising and the product distribution in Gloucester. Moors may be the only new creatures I managed to acquire here in Britain. But I still enjoyed my some lovely days off thanks to your generosity. I promise to repay this favor one day. As soon as I finish making my primate zoo, you'll be the first to receive an invitation. That sounds great. But I'm sorry, I'm not sure what's going on anymore. It feels like I'm still dreaming, and once I wake up, you're worried you'll forget everything. Not to worry, I'm the beast of taming. Unlike humans, I never forget my debts. Thank you for calling me your friend, my eccentric little princess. It would be an honor to purchase your joy and grief from my catalog. I'd never sell them, of course. I'm quite fond of you. I see. Then, do you think you could pay me for them now? I was an idiot. I couldn't keep my anger, my hatred in check. I'm responsible for this. I should have realized who the true enemy was. But instead, I was used and manipulated right to the end. So at the very least, you'd like to get your revenge. You just leave that to me. I'll follow these bloodstains and find whoever... No. I want you to at least protect Britain. We fairies may be fated to die out. We can never atone for our sins. Even so, I want you to protect Britain, to protect the land of the Fae. I don't want the Great Calamity to just wipe us all out on its own terms. I want us to reach our destination, even if it's the end of the line. Can I ask this of you, Koyanskaya? Even though you're all alone in this world, just like me. Protected Britain in the true sense of the word, Alright, I'll do it.
Hey, she put on her other outfit.
If you're looking for me to protect rather than destroy, it's obvious what needs protecting. Rest assured, NFF Services has the situation well in hand. I'll make sure the ones who can make the real villains' life hardest stay safe and around.
And so she came to help us.
That's Koyanskaya's beast form! Marines, can you put that up on the monitor?
It's no use. Our cameras are being jammed. And our sonar's not working either. Gah! Do keep those annoying pulses off of me, won't you? They're messing with my concentration.
Sonar jamming, eh? As with Limbo, it's only a matter of time until we need to settle things with Koyanskaya. I was hoping to collect some data. I was looking for some data that would help eventually subdue her, along with some inspiration for my deductions.
Well, are you going to escape or not? This emergency evacuation service expires soon. If you need my services again, it's going to cost you dearly.
Right, get us out of here on the double quick! I certainly don't want to be stuck with a preposterous bill. But we will pay you in full for the service eventually. You can count on that as surely as you can count on the bruises we left you with after our battle in Olympus. Oh, in case it wasn't clear, that was a reference to the fact that we trounced you during the... No. Crap, we just lost some power to the engines again. Can it, Chubbs? You're messing up her motivation. No, it's not that. Pressure's building up on the ground again. It looks like even Koyanskaya can only hold it off for so long. Munir, get us out of here. Whatever you have to do, do it. I don't care if you have to ruin one of the Triton engines. Make it happen. Aye, aye, sir. I'll apologize to the engineer later.
And that's as far as the friend discount goes. The rest is up to Chaldea. As for me, I think it's time I return to my headquarters. So this is Cernunnos' curse. Easy to mistake it for a weapon capable of destroying the world. But this curse isn't meant for enemies from the outside. It's for cursing your own kind, and yourself. A curse of self-destruction. The only way I can defend their ship from it was to absorb it myself. What a sorry state of affairs this turned out to be.
And so, the Chaldean ship barely managed to escape from central Britain. Vargas, now transformed into an enormous calamity of the beast, continued wreaking havoc in other cities. Having crawled out from the pit, Cernunnos continued exuding seamlessly endless curses. The fairy villages that dotted Britain's forest burned to the ground, which itself began to crack and fall apart under the strain. 2 hours have passed since the storm border first set out with the goal of saving Britain. They couldn't save anything. The residents of Norwich came to blows over who would escape on the 2 ocean liners, eventually devolving into murderous mobs of fairies and humans. In a barbershop on Main Street, a kind young human man comforted a fairy woman who had succumbed to panic. The residents of Oxford, who had moved there with the hope of becoming the next privileged class, were destroyed when they were unable to fend off a Morse attack. Without the Fang clan there to protect them, they were utterly powerless. Although Salisbury managed to defend itself by keeping its gates closed, it was coming to an even more gruesome end than any of the other cities. Londinium continued to burn in silence. The remaining Round Table army soldiers welcomed the fairies who fled there, and did their best to fight off the Moors. Though in truth, the Round Table army soldiers were just as already badly injured and no longer able to fight. So the fairies who sought refuge there summoned the last of their courage and defended the soldiers for as long as they were able. The residents of Gloucester disappeared relatively painlessly, one at a time. A young girl who had been freed from the Western Ranch some time before made the journey back to Gloucester after a series of trials and tribulations. She braved her way through the flames to rescue her former master, a failure of a fairy who had been helpless without her.
After a tearful reunion, the girl and the fairy join hands, before being swallowed up by a fissure in the ground.
This is horrible. All of Britain's beauty gone.
Indeed, Miss Curiolite. Once the other Lostbelt's tree of emptiness were gone, they disappeared as well, but their inhabitants were none the wiser. This is nothing like that. Britain is experiencing a true apocalypse. Even if there was some reason that the land of Fae had to meet such a dreadful end, I shall never be able to forgive the architects of this cataclysm. Yes, well, I understand why you would be so heartbroken by this, Curiolite, and you have every right to be angry, Holmes. But we still need to do something about it, yes? If left unchecked, that haze seeping out of the pit is going to cover the entire planet, right? Isn't there something we can do to seal the pit?
No, there isn't. We can't even get close to the storm border anymore. The 12 Rungo Mealites were our last hope, and they've all been destroyed along with Camelot. There's nothing we can do to stop the collapse of Trismegistus. There's nothing we can do to stop the collapse Trismegistus 2 predicted anymore.
I'm afraid she's right. Britain's destruction is inevitable now. And from there, that destruction will spread across the rest of the globe until proper human history. The Lostbelt and everything else is swallowed up by the darkness. Sorry, I'm just checking something out for a bit. Actually, give me a sec, folks. Be right back. Sorry about that. Had to use the restroom. Message B. Hey now, there's still hope. I'd hold out for at least another hour before giving up. Sure, the fairy's sins have been accumulating for 14,000 years. Sure, we're now faced with both the calamities and prophecy predicted, and the corpse of a god just popped out of the pit. There's nothing proper human history can do about any of that. But all that stuff is also cosmic fantasy, only made up possible by the situation. The British Lostbelt became its own proper human history by virtue of turning into a singularity. That is, a distortion in history. In other words, repairing that singularity will restore history, resulting in the land of the Fae never having existed. And isn't that Chaldea's specialty? That voice.
Yes, I recognize it too. I know it anywhere.
Oh, Merlin! Hey, everyone. Merlin, the Mage of Flowers, is here at last. Sorry to keep you waiting so long. Now come on, cheer up. It's not like you all to give up so easily. In fact, the real battle here in Britain is just about to begin. Oh, man. Huh. I think we can do this. Yeah, we can do this one. Time of creation. Besides, Merlin just showed up. Now then, I believe greetings are in order. Good day, Chaldeans. I'm the amazing Merlin the Great. I've actually been free for some time now, ever since Morgan was killed and her garden disappeared. Sorry for getting here so late. I needed some extra time to get everything ready. Fo! Is that you, Cat Peleg? No fair staying behind Chaldea without me.
I'm sorry, Merlin. That was just Senpai's faux impression.
Faux! That is my faux impression. Is that a thing in Chaldea now? Who said that could be a thing? Whoops, sorry about that. I'm still a little shaky. I'm not exaggerating when I say this feels like a waking dream for me. You see, I'm not actually there with you. What you're seeing right now is an illusion. That also means I can only hear your voices. I can't see what either you or Mash look like right now, Yusaku. So I'm afraid our joyful reunion will have to wait a little longer. But don't worry, I'll get to see your grown-up faces in just a few hours. I'll be waiting for you at the entrance to Avalon, making sure I look nice and respectable.
Merlin!
Uh-oh. Okay, sorry. I was looking at losing some frames right there.
Merlin? You're Merlin?
That's me. Is that the child of prophecy speaking? Sorry to surprise you like this. I know we have a lot to catch up on, but I'm afraid our private conversation will have to wait until things are somewhat less intense. Let's see. I believe Mr. Gordolf is Chaldea's current commander, yes? Is he there now, too?
Yes, I am. This is Gordolf Music speaking. So you're Merlin, are you? I won't bother asking why you're just showing up now. You're right that we have more pressing matters than you barging in. What I want to know is what you meant when you said there's still hope.
Nice. You pack a lot of bluster into that voice. It seems you're pretty much the exact opposite of the prior acting commander. But I digress. When I said there's still hope, I meant there's still a way to stop this collapse. Let me cut to the chase. I'd like to send the Fairy of Paradise back here. I'd like you to send the Fairy of Paradise back here right away. Altria, you've been hearing Avalon calling to you ever since you finished ringing the bells, right? It's time for you to fulfill your duty as the Fairy of Paradise. Once you have, it'll be possible to erase this singularity and defeat Cernunnos. There's a way to fix this hopeless situation somewhere in Paradise?
But I'm not qualified to.
Qualifications, smallifications, none of that matters. Cernunnos' curse will weaken once the Fairy of Paradise who rang the bells of pilgrimage returns to Paradise. Won't get rid of it entirely, but it'll stop it from getting stronger. The God of Wisdom who pawned this power off on me confirmed as much. He might be from a different mythology, but he knows what he's talking about here. Isn't that right, Ambrosius? My job is to get Altria out of Paradise by hook or by crook. As long as she's rung the bells of pilgrimage, it doesn't even matter if she's still alive.
Right, of course. I should have known how this would go.
Altria, why aren't you upset at him?
So, I've actually kind of known about it all along. I could see that's why Grimmer was here the whole time, too.
That's expressly for the worst case scenario, Grimmer. We're nowhere near that point now. She's in the best possible condition right now. I can't see it, but I can sense it. I have no doubt that the Fairy of Paradise, the Avalon LaFay, will fulfill her duty of her own volition. Even if someone convinces her that this is ridiculous. And we should all just give up and enjoy the time we have left.
Huh?
Besides, you all have no choice but to come to Avalon. There's a spirit cavern that leads to the planet's inner sea from the corpse of Albion, the border dragon that sank into the dark bog. Now that the Britain has begun to collapse, the path should open again. All you need to do is go splunking for 1 hour. That said, we're still talking about the largest holy ground in the Magecraft world. It won't let just anyone in. But it should open for Yusaku as a representative of humanity, Mash and as a knight of the Round Table, the Fairy of Paradise, and I guess there's room for her attendant Muramasa as well. The rest of you will have to wait. The rest of you will have to wait there until they get back. Well, Gordolf, what would you have us do? What else can we possibly do? Captain, set a course for the Dark Bog at once. That was in the Lake District, right? You know the coordinates, Technical Advisor.
Should do. That won't be a problem. But apparently the only ones who can enter this spirit cavern are the 4 Merlin specified. That's not a lot of fighters for a trip as potentially dangerous as it is. And that's not even
I think I'm supposed to be mentioning.
And that's not even mentioning how much I want to see this for myself. But it looks like we don't have any other choice but to send them off and trust things will work out. Are you ready to go, Yusaku?
Yeah, but are you alright, Altria?
I think I'll be fine. Besides, I'll just end up fighting with Grimmer if I said no. And thinking about it some more, I'm actually kind of excited. This'll basically be my first time visiting home.
Understood. I'll update our strategy to include Merlin's instructions. Yusaku, Mash, Altria, Senshi Muramasa. You four will make your way through the spirit cavern and head for the planet's inner sea, the paradise of Avalon. The storm border will remain on station above the Lake District. Captain Nemo and Da Vinci will focus on piloting the border. If anything should try to attack us, Grimmer and I will fend them off. Wait, please. This is all new and unfamiliar to me, so I doubt I'll be of much help. But Britain is my home. It's only right that I should take part in any battles we may face.
Huh? Absolutely not! If anything, you should be resting right now. You're in no shape to be fighting anymore, right? Your only job now is to get the treatment you need and recuperate until you're back to your old self. That's an order from the Child of Prophecy, got it? If you even think about defying me on this, I'll completely abandon my duty. Is that clear?
Yes, child of prophecy, I'll follow your orders. I have to say, though, I never thought I'd see the day you got seriously mad at me. You've always been one to keep your feelings in check and not make a fuss. True, Altria's great at pretending to be a model student.
You think? I thought I've always been pretty open and forthcoming about with my feelings personally.
Sure, whenever you're just turning off your head, Sure, whenever you're just turning your brain off and doing something stupid. The rest of the time, you pretend to be a big old nervous Nelly.
What do you mean? I never did anything stupid. I wasn't nervous Nelly anyway, Muramasa.
She's jabbing at him. Okay, we're gonna be fighting a Lancer. Okay. Let's do this. Like we discussed earlier, we'll be standing by the storm porter in Lake District airspace. We expect the operation to take about 3 hours. That's all the time the ship, no, Britain has left. We have no way of knowing what will happen in the spirit cavern. So please, try to be as careful as you possibly can, Yusaku. Got it. Entering the spirit cavern inside Albion now.
That felt different from the water mirror that sent me to the past in Norwich. This is mean we're inside Albion's spirit cavern now. Can we still contact Chaldea? No, we can't. We're cut off now, just as Da Vinci predicted. Gathering coordinate data now. 10, 20, 40, 80... 80?! Master, you're not going to believe this, but it looks like we're 80 kilometers below ground now.
Damn, that's even deeper than the pit. A lot deeper. Are we even sure this is underground? It's completely pitch dark and it doesn't even feel like I'm standing on anything. You're not wrong. This world is in a whole other layer, another dimension, to put it simply. You were just able to bypass all the ground in the way thanks to Albion. But be warned that it goes much deeper. In proper human history, the 80-kilometer mark is where Albion gave up the ghost. But in this Lostbelt, Albion managed to make a route all the way to Avalon. Unfortunately, the path wasn't wide enough for Albion to get through, so they still died on the surface. You mean there's a spirit cavern like this in proper human history too? That's right. Though over there it's known as the spiritual tomb. In proper human history, the spiritual tomb of Albion ends at the 80-kilometer mark. Beyond that is a world known as the Fairy Realm, which no human can enter. But since the British Lostbelt is all this world's fairy realm, there are no such restrictions here. So we can keep going down as far as we like. In real world distance, you're starting at the 400-kilometer mark and going further down to the Beyond D layer 2700 kilometer away. That is where you'll find your destination, the planet's inner sea. Wait, so we're 80 kilometers below ground now, and our destination's 2,700 kilometers below ground?
How the hell can we cover that kind of distance? Simple. You take a shortcut. When I said it'd take an hour, I wasn't basing that on how fast you travel. I meant that's how long it'd take, period. I'll use a series of transit time reduction spells to bring you all to your destination. Anyway, this must be pretty dull for you. How about we turn on the lights? Whoa, it's a cave now? What the hell? Why does he look like Foe? So, what do you think? Doesn't this feel more like a cavern? Now go on, keep moving. The transit time reduction I mentioned is kicking in with every step you take. This place is Earth's memory. Well, more like a space made of pure information, really. The idea is to skip past all the vague, hazy memories and get you straight to your destination.
That should be a huge help, but, is that Merlin?
The third time she asked. So finally showing us what you really look like. Is something wrong? Oh, I see. Struck dumb by my true glory, I get it. Very well then, heap your praise upon me. You can even worship me if you like, Muramasa. It's been a long time since I've shown up, after all. I need to leave as strong an impression as possible, given the short time I have. Well, I'm not going to be the one to tell him. This is hilarious.
Good point. We probably shouldn't pry too deeply into this.
No, I want to milk this dry, man.
More importantly, Senpai, that mural over there.
Yeah, it's the same as the one in Londinium. Oh, are you seeing the priestess's memories projected there? Perfect. I'll take the hour you'll be traveling to tell you how this all began. Why do you look like Foe? This is the story of the British Lostbelt's genesis, and of what precisely the Fairy of Paradise's mission entails. It became ocean at the end. There was ocean at the beginning. After the shooting star passed, the land all ran into the rivers. Long, long ago, as far as time can go, 6 fairies went outside to find the world had become an ocean. This is awful. Oh, sorry. This is awful, they thought. How terrible our world has become. Then a large shadow rose up from the ocean. It belonged to a giant fluffy creature. On its shoulder stood one of the animals the fairies believed was gone. The 6 fairies and the god soon became friends. It wasn't easy living on the ocean. There was nowhere to go and nothing to do. But the god made things better for the 6 fairies by sheltering them from the waves. The ocean without waves is nice, but we still miss having land. So the 6 fairies offered the god their joy. And they offered the god their wish. Then they offered the god himself. And so the fairies' wish was granted. Then after their rejoicing ended, they tricked the god into drinking poisoned wine, and he died. And so, the fairies acquired the god's body. They made the body into land on which they could live. They were grateful, too, to be able to make use of the crying, screaming animal the dead god had left behind. She was their only human, but one simply wasn't enough. So, being very careful not to kill her, they cut her to pieces. They cast a spell on her to make sure she wouldn't die no matter what they did, and used every last piece of her. Thus did the Isle of Britain come into being. Thus did the great mistake begin. May the first 6 fairies find salvation. May the first 6 fairies be cursed for all time. There you have it. You may have heard it before, but that's the story of Britain's creation. Any questions? Is that why? Indeed. The first 6 fairies, the progenitors of the 6 clans, killed Cernunnos. The pit you saw on the surface is Cernunnos' grave, and the curse spilling out of it, even as we speak, is his rage.
But why would the fairies do such a thing?
He was in their way. This all happened 14,000 years ago. When the 6 fairies came out from paradise and onto the surface, Earth was already covered in a sea of nothingness. The one who ended up being the 6 stranded fairies was a Celtic beast god who had come up to the surface just like they had. A god who would later come to be known as Cernunnos. Cernunnos and his priestess, the lone human who had managed to survive just like the fairies had, both did their best to protect the fairies. At first, the fairies were grateful for their help. But the Sea of Nothingness never changed. No matter how much time passed, no land appeared. The fairies blamed Cernunnos for that. They thought he wasn't strong enough. They thought he just wasn't strong enough. Give me a sec. Be right back, folks. Alright, sorry about that, folks. What's more, they didn't particularly like his priestess. She was constantly telling them to sort themselves out and consider the consequences of their actions. Eventually, the fairies couldn't take it anymore and decided to deal with Cernunnos permanently. They figured out since they didn't have any land to stand on, they could find a substitute. And since Cernunnos was so big, they thought his body could serve just fine as a small island. But of course, Cernunnos was a god. They couldn't kill him easily, so they came up with a plan and held a festival. They told Cernunnos they were holding a festival in his honor, to worship him, and held a banquet with lots of wine. Cernunnos was delighted that he was being celebrated for being the fairies' first official god. They probably figured they were trying to change their thoughtless ways. And so, against his priestess's wishes, Cernunnos attended the banquet and was poisoned to death when he drank their wine. Some rejoicing that turned out to be. What about the priestess? What happened to her? The fairies used her as the foundation, no, the base ingredient for the humans that came later. The truth is, every human in the British Lostbelt is an inferior copy of the priestess who was killed during Britain's genesis. At any rate, as Aire, the 6 fairies went on to create their own stone and forest children and grow their clans. As time passed, they transformed more and more of Cernunnos' body into land. But after 100 years, things stopped going quite so well for the fairies. Their children kept dying, turning into fallen trees adrift on the sea. New generations kept being born, so the number of fairies never decreased. And thanks to the humans who had been copied from the priestess's cells, Britain slowly developed into a civilization. With civilization came new societal roles. The fairies made new types of fairies, and their forests flourished like never before. But they also kept dying for no reason whatsoever. Eventually, the 6 progenitor fairies realized Cernunnos' rage was the cause. Even though Cernunnos' soul was gone, his body wasn't completely dead. In fact, his heart alone still burned with fire they used to cremate him. Even in his death, Cernunnos' body continued to smolder with anger and curses. He could very well come back to life at any time. The fairies are so shocked by this that they fled Cernunnos' body. Fortunately, this was right around the time their children's corpses were starting to form new ground. And fairy corpses are essentially made from the same stuff as the planet itself. The fallen trees became earth, and stone quickly filled in the sea, almost as if they were trying to cover up the fairies' sins. That's how this Lostbelt began. That's why this Isle of Britain uses fairy corpses to grow and expand. After several thousand years, the fairies had acquired their very own Britain. But all the while, Cernunnos' body was still there. A divine grave that would let no ocean-filling fallen tree near it. An indelible reminder of the fairies' sin, or a reminder that rejected their corpses. Eventually the fallen trees blocked off the ocean's water for good, and Cernunnos' body was left behind at the bottom of the sea. That is the true nature of the pit. It's not actually a pit. It's the remains of a patch of dried up ocean.
An island made by killing a god. The fairies' original sin.
It wasn't just Cernunnos they killed, but the priestess who served them as well. No, she wasn't just killed. She was desecrated and used as a tool for all these 14,000 years. No wonder Cernunnos is so pissed. I doubt even killing every fairy in Britain would be enough to satisfy him. Although, why'd he come to the surface anyway? Isn't it kind of narrow-minded of him to curse the whole damn world just because you got killed? Especially after you went out of your way to get involved with the fairies?
That's probably because Cernunnos was an envoy of paradise sent to reprimand the fairies. That was the whole reason he came here, to punish them. I don't think his heart was in it, though. Like this mural shows, Cernunnos is a very kind god by nature. But the fairies might have found him terrifying simply because he existed.
Does that mean the reason the world became a sea of nothingness is... That's right. That's the point where this Lostbelt diverged from proper human history and its greatest mistake. You see, 14,000 years ago was the greatest turning point for all of humanity. Maybe you heard something about the planetary envoy that almost destroyed Earth's past ancient civilization back in Olympus.
Yes, we did. It was a white civilization destroying a giant named Safar, who fell from a shooting star. Safar wiped out countless pantheons and almost destroyed every civilization on Earth. In the end, it was humans who managed to defeat it, not gods. I heard they did so using divine constructs, Weapons made in the planet's inner sea meant to combat planetary threats. I also heard that the sacred sword Excalibur was the greatest such weapon, and that it was created in Britain. That's right. I just realized that nobody here has ever mentioned it. The very idea of a sacred sword just doesn't exist in this version of Britain.
Give me a sec, folks.
So that must mean...
Excalibur was never made here? That's right, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what happened as a result. In this what-if world, humanity never had the means to defeat Zephyr. That's why they were wiped out. Zephyr destroyed all the planet's landmasses and took them for itself, leaving only a sea of nothingness with a few aquatic life forms. So why was the sacred sword never made? The reason for that is both exceedingly simple and unsurprising. Its creator slacked off. The A-Ray, that is, the 6 fairies who were supposed to forge it in the planet's inner sea, decided it would be okay to take a day off just this once, and went off to have fun. It was only once they noticed something had gone wrong with the world and went up to the surface that they realized the consequences of their choices. But they figured there was no changing the past, and refused to accept the world's destruction was their fault. So Cernunnos, the one god who had taken shelter in paradise to keep his priestess safe, was sent to reprimand them and make them atone for their sins. But then the fairies killed Cernunnos and his priestess, the last surviving human. At that point, they could no longer return to the planet's inner sea. Only those free of sin may pass, meaning only fairies without sin can go to paradise. It's the same for all of Britain's fairies, as they're all descended from those original 6. None of them can enter the planet's inner sea, and so they continue to suffer on that island of sin to atone. So, a single lapse in judgment ended the world. That's right. It all started with the sacred sword never being made. Eventually, fairies chosen from the planet's inner sea were sent to the surface to correct this mistake. The first one was Vivienne, and the second was you, Castor. Your mission is to have the 6 clans admit to their mistake and inherit the mystic needed to create the sacred sword. The bells of pilgrimage indicate that the clan heads have accepted their sins, and the fairy who rings all of them becomes the sacred sword itself. Wait, what? So Altria Castor's gonna become Excalibur? But as Morgan, Vivienne refused to do that. After all, once the sacred sword was made, the very premise on which this Lostbelt is built would cease to be. I'm sure you learned about this yourself when you rang the bell in Orkney, Castor. And in spite of that, you continued your path. You continued on your path, defeated Morgan, and now you're here with Yusaku. You must have had to face down so many doubts to come this far. In fact, you may never be entirely free of them. But even so, you're still here, which is why I believe you have what it takes to see this through to the end. Anyway, I know that was a lot of talking, but we're almost at our destination now. The convictions of the last dragon are waiting up ahead to see if you are all qualified to proceed. Only those free of sin may pass. That sin doesn't refer to the original sin you're born with, or the sins you've committed in your life thus far. It refers to what you're about to do, and what your hearts are resolved to now. It's your reason for living, your principle for existence and prosperity. The way to the land of hope will open only for those who demonstrate true strength in these regards. It's gone. Everything on the surface is gone. The sky, the sea, life. everything I've ever seen. My records will never again grow in number. I will never again know new joys. You who would choose the sacred sword's wielder, you who would chant the king's name. If you seek a new world, then leave all traces of the old behind. My name is... I am the last dragon, the one who chose to continue flying above the ground instead of returning to the inner sea. If you can overcome these tears, I will offer my heart to the forger of stars. Need 2 servants, huh? I'm gonna need a single target. Alright, here we go. Actually knocked my earphones out of my ear. What the?
一気火星に畳みかける
800,000?
白兵戦行きます受け取るがよいこれ直すがよい道を開くと春の日差し花の乱舞開けヌプティアエドムスアウレアよ歌えアキスカエレスキ世の世の見せ場だな今のうちに準備白兵戦行きます道よさすがだラットン
Oh, we gotta travel to Albion, so I guess that's why it looks like Melusine.
開けヌプティアエドムスアウレアよ歌えアキスカエレスキ世のはっ世の見せ場だな
That was easier than I thought it would be.
世に惚れ直したかマスター
Made short work by my wife. She put the umu to it. Ah, I can hear the bells tolling. My heart may have stopped, but yours yet beats strong. Welcome home, Avalon Le Fay. May the sound of hope echo into the future. Is that light from the outside? That's right. That's the entrance to the planet's inner sea. This is the land of the young, Cernunnos. The eternal spring. This is the land of the young Cernunnos, the eternal spring. This is the place many life forms have dreamed of finding. Welcome to an Avalon whose time has come. This is where the journey of the planet's birth ends. Ooh, what the heck? When a planet is born. I think we might end it here. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a night here. We've already finished a good chunk of it because I know this is gonna be a short part, so there won't be too many streams for this one, though. I think the next one might actually be the last, depending on how long that goes. But yeah, I'm really excited for what happens next, though. So, yeah. In any event, though, we'll continue with the Avalon missions, though, later. And yeah, I'll probably try again tomorrow, since I don't have work. In any event, though, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again next time. Alright, take care.